All right, creatures. It is Thursday night. You know the drill. We have Ring of Honor. We got like I think 5 matches on the card. I want to say. Hopefully, some good stuff. Do, 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 do. Alrighty. Oh, Beast Mortal's got a little bit of TV time today. Let's see. The Outrunners versus the Workhorsemen for the opener. Why did I thought this was going to be main event? That's interesting. It's been the Workhorsemen. I remember the last time I remember seeing them. I think was like on Collision one day. It was something about something that had something to do with a tag team. And I remember, I think Anthony Henry or JD went through a chair or something. I can't really remember. But I'm pretty sure that was like on Collision one day. Like a month or so ago. They've been back for a little bit. I really like them as a team, and I absolutely believe that they deserve to have so much more going on with them within Ring of Honor or AEW. I don't know what we're doing. Um, but we'll see how this match goes here. All right, let's see. The Outrunners. Now, the Outrunners, too. Now, we did see them at All In. They had a little bit of TV time at All In. But there's something about this group. Now, honestly, I thought we were going to see a whole lot more with the Outrunners after that match with FTR a couple of weeks ago. That match was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And y'all already know, like, FTR are amazing. They're just born on the mic. We know that. And the crazy thing about it is I am I I feel like a match like that should have bounced them back up in terms of them in the tag division. And honestly it hasn't. We'll see if they're going to be in the tournament for the tag titles. We'll see about that. Oh, and they weren't that's the that's the gear that they wore at All In. So a lot of buzz about that, which is interesting. Robert Brown's in the house. Hello, Robert. How are you? Very cute. GM said, rest in peace, a true artist today. Who died? Who else went on today? All right, all right. Truth Magnum already got all that kinesio tape on his arm. Damn, what the hell? All right, the bell has rung. Music to my ears. Really underrated tag team here with JD and Anthony Henry. Anthony and JD both coming back recently from injuries, and I like them whether they're together or not. But I think we could really use them as a team. Anthony Henry, if he was on his own, I could see him, putting some work for what's that, like the peer division. I think he could definitely pull that off. I know they're not talking about the Outrunners been on the roll since the Workhorsemen have left. To be honest with you, we seen less of them on Ring of Honor than any other time. To be honest, GM, who you talking about? Oh, Ozzy. Oh, Ozzy Osbourne. I think did he die yesterday? He had his last concert a few weeks ago, maybe not even 2 weeks ago. I think, and maybe he knew because that was actually scheduled to be the last ever Black Sabbath or just Ozzy performing ever, and I think he knew that the end was near, so that was the last performance or whatnot, and he's gone. He's gone. Very interesting. Look at JD flexing in the ring. He's like, hey, look at all this. Well, never mind. I won't say muscle, but meat. There's a lot of meat on him. A lot of meat on them bones. We do appreciate that, meaty man. Robert Brown said, thoughts on Hulk Hogan. Mm. Henny God in the building. Said Tati, where's your red and yellow? I don't have anything red or yellow. I pretty much wear black almost all the time. Purples too. Okay, Outrunners, and that's another thing too. Now that Dustin got a TNT title, we really it's time to really look at the tag titles in Ring of Honor and the 6 man tag titles as well, and pull them things off of Dustin. Dustin, go ahead and focus on being TNT champion. Go do that. All these teams and individuals that would love to be holding on to the tag titles and the 6 man tag titles, we got to move on. We got to move on. It's been just about a year. A few more weeks make it a year, at least for the 6 man tag titles. I think it's already a year with the tag titles already. Robert Brown said Hulk Hogan died. Okay, half of the NWO gone. We only miss one of those guys though. Oh, Robert, I think GM. Oh, she said she's cooking. GM can't be bothered. She can't be bothered. Not with this. No. He's trying to lift JD. He's like, hey, I am too much man for you to lift. Too heavy for you. All right, we got Turbo and Anthony Henry in the ring. I like Anthony's hair. Like, if you could do your hair half one color and half another color, like literally half on one side, the other side another, like that is a look not everybody can pull off. Not everybody. Henny got said, "Oh, so we going Hollywood today, Tanti? No, definitely not." Very cute GM said, "Here is a honest opinion on Hogan. He did a lot for the wrestling industry, and wouldn't be where it is without him. That being said, he was a trash person. Legacies are great. It is. It is." Robert said, "Don't worry, Tati. My opinion on Hogan's still the same. Hogan is a straight hoe, even in death, and he's still Hulk Hogan. I mean, honestly, to be honest with you, my opinions haven't changed. They're still the same. So I don't know. I don't know. A lot of mixed reactions about it. Mostly, I I don't believe necessarily that just because somebody has passed away. I mean, what people look at as respectful is to pay your respects to somebody if they passed away. But somebody passing away doesn't make it so that they never did shitty things. Like, we're not supposed to just forget those things because they're gone. That's not how that works. That's the best way I can put it for you. All right, Anthony Henry in green. I do appreciate green. So this is from a taping, definitely from Chicago. And that's the thing too, with them having this residency in Chicago or anywhere, I think it's a really good thing to, have tapings. If you have time and you're gonna be somewhere for weeks at a time, they're not moving any of that stuff that they have over there in where's the name of this venue again? I forgot the name. They're not gonna move anything out. So y'all can literally set aside a day, maybe a Saturday or a Sunday, where people can come in and see a Ring of Honor taping, tape all your matches, tape all day if you have to. People will stay or people will go, whatever the situation is. And y'all got your little show. Hennika said, Tati, can I get a let me tell you something, brother Simon bite, please? What am I gonna tell you, bro? I ain't never done it before, not gonna do it now. Some of y'all in mourning, and everyone else, I don't know. We're moving on. Okay, Truth and Anthony Henry in the ring. I would say that I'm against tournaments right now because I feel like there's so many of them just happening over and over again. But if to say the tag division of Ring of Honor, maybe we can do it. Maybe the Outrunners were so hot at one point, and after that match with Hurt Syndicate, I don't know what happened. And speaking of Hurt Syndicate, what is going on with Bobby and everybody? I'm not happy about it at all. Rick or Vince next on the bingo card. Well, um, I'm not the I'm not Death himself, so I can't say. I can't say. Aren't they like around the same age, Rick and Vince? Maybe close. I think they're both in their 70s. I want to say, so I think they're probably both close in age. Okay, Truth is really trying to get away from the Workhorsemen, and they are just like, not today, bruv. Oh, well, we got a tag. Turbo is in the ring. Okay. All right, a little body slam. Another body slam from Turbo onto Anthony Henry. He's pumped up, fired up, ready to go. Robert Brown said, Tati, I agree with you. He said, I ain't mourning. We got OG TK Cole in the house said, Hey, Tati, hope your day as well. I am watching Ring of Honor as well. Yes. Well, I wish I had a better day. It's hot as hell here in Texas, and I'm over it. I'm so over the weather. It's like this heat here in Texas is different than anything else I've ever experienced, and I'm over it. Over it. You son of a bitch. I love when they do that. Why is that so funny to me? I love that. The crowd connects with it. They feeling it. Okay, they look like they're ready. Outrunners look like they're ready to wrap it up. But Anthony Henry said, I think I could take on you two by myself. Why did JD roll out of there? Get back in there and help Anthony. Three. Oh. Well, you know what? I like both teams, but I do like Workhorsemen a little bit more. A little bit more. He said, "Did you see Dietrich Davis from New World Wrestling Order video on Hulk Hogan? Is this something recent? No, I literally got off of work like 2 hours ago. I think. Well, I get off at 3:30. It's 6 o'clock now. I haven't gotten a chance to do anything. I just happened to. What happened this morning? I went to check something. Okay, so I went on X to look for a picture earlier, and then I seen something about rest in peace Hulk Hogan, and I was just like, cause let's be honest, it's Twitter, and I can't tell you how many times I've actually seen that same post this year about Hulk Hogan, and I didn't think it was true. And when I went to go check my email, like I got an email from Yahoo News. I don't even know why that said Hulk Hogan had passed away, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute!" So they weren't really lying on X. Then I went back on X and to see if y'all think people are just unhinged. X is a completely different dimension that I probably wouldn't recommend at all. So people are literally celebrating over there. It's kind of crazy, but I mean, who am I to tell people what to feel about the situation? I don't know. I don't know. Hechicero, Rocky Romero. Rocky Romero is putting in so much work. That man never get enough credit for all the work that he puts in. You're seeing him one day on Collision or Dynamite, and then you're seeing him the next day with Takesha over there in Japan. He's putting in a lot of work. He don't got no problem getting on that flight and coming back and forth. This guy is really, really amazing. They did. Oh wait, they did announce CMLL Grand Prix early today. I don't know if they announced everybody because I only saw like maybe like 5 or 6 names, and I know it's more people than that. Um, Let me see if I can pull it up. So we got Beast Mortos going against Serpentico. All right, I'm pulling. Who they? Is it? They announced it today, didn't they? Or yesterday, or whatever it was. So for the International Grand Prix, um, where is it? For the international wrestlers so far, I'm not 100% sure if this is the whole list, but they do have Donovan Dijak. Where the hell Dijak from? He's from the U.S., right? I don't know. We had no, he's not. Is he Australian or something? Something like that. We have Taji Ishimori, who's going to be representing Japan. Michael Oku, who's going to be representing the UK. Robbie X, he's from the UK too, right? Ain't Robbie from the UK? So I think he's representing the UK as well. Rocky Ramiro, shit, where he from again? I don't even remember. Leo Rush going to be representing the U.S. Action Andretti representing the U.S. Mike Bailey representing Canada. Luis Martos for where he from again? Mexico. And then we have TJP representing the Philippines. So I think that might be everyone on the list aside from the Mexican wrestlers. But I'll check back in on that, see who else is all in there. The bell has rung. Serpentico, I look, Serpentico, he knows exactly what he's here for. He is here to get that check. Okay, he's here to get that check. He may, I want to say, have the worst wins loss record in AEW. I would have to check, but I'm almost certain that it is him. If somebody got it worse than him, I don't know what's going on. The Beast Mortos has been putting in work. Beast Mortos, who has broken my heart. My heart is shattered up. Obviously has moved on, but he's been featured quite a bit in CMLL these past few weeks. Ever since the Grand Slam episode, he has been consistently on CMLL, and I wish this was going on for Roosh and Jalisco as well. So I think maybe they could make that work at some point. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. So he's putting in work. He's going to be the CMLL International Grand Prix this year. Okay. Beach Martho, you said, I'm going to make this short. I got other things to do. And he probably want to get out of Chicago, and I'm going to blame him. I don't blame him. I really do like him. I can't believe he did this to me. He don't went over to the Mercedes. Like, I don't even matter. Oh, my God. Hennigan said we not more than no damn holster. Oh, holster with 3Ks? Oh, I'm not seeing anything I've never seen before. We celebrate Hulk. He's in Eternal Hell in the Cell Event. Oh my god. There is the things that I've seen so far today, and I've seen only positive things like on Facebook and what's the other one? Instagram. But in terms of X, when I tell you everybody over there is unhinged, it's just like I can't even believe some of the things that I've seen. But then again, I'm not surprised. Okay, so Pentaco with a very mild tope suicida. Didn't even move Beast Mortos. Beast Mortos, that's a new mask he wearing. What is this mask he wearing? What is it? Ugh. It's like purple, blue-ish. I don't know what it is, but I feel like he's trying something new with the mask because even though it's a different color, I feel like it's a completely different shape from the other masks that he's worn. Which is interesting. I don't know if he's trying something new. It doesn't look like the others that I could remember because I stayed out this man for a long time, so I think I might know. It yeah, the ears they got so they zoomed in and it has the horn like from here going to like behind the ear. It's very different look, very different look. I wouldn't necessarily be trying different looks on TV. You know, something like maybe like well, they don't do house shows, so that's another thing too. That's the importance of having house shows is being able to try different things before you do them on TV and see how it works out, especially like for looks or like trying to see if a feud would work with somebody. And I don't know, a new different mask with different shape each week. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. OGTK Cole said, I know. Remember, I told you I went back to my hotel during Starcast because it was too hot. Look, and let me tell you something. All that money people done spent to be over there, it was insane. They're gonna send me an email wanting to know how I enjoy Starcast. Baby, you don't want that email from me. You don't want my response, do you? It was an experience that should have been so much better. I don't think they were well equipped for it. I'm not gonna lie. Part of the hold on, Serpent go down. He's not getting back up. All right, that's a three. Beast Marthos with the win. Now, Beast Marthos, if they would do something with the character, something with the character. You can't just come out looking cute every week. Like, it gotta be a little bit more than this. I think people he's like a tweener in a way. You know what? Let me not say tweener. I think people don't really know if he's a good guy or the bad guy, to be honest with you. When he's with LFI, you know for sure he's a heel. And when he's on his own, you kind of really can't tell. You kind of can't tell because you don't mind cheering him anyway. Okay, they're showing some clips from the last pay per view. That was like a week ago with the frat house. But yeah, the Starcast situation was very unfortunate. And the next pay per view I go to, if Starcast doing something, I'm calling before I get over there. There's just no way. There's just no way. Okay, the Dark Order, they got new T-shirts or something. That's new. Okay, so they're feuding with Fred House. They said this ain't over. The word of the day is consistency. We're gonna be consistently on your ass. I think that's what they're saying. Translation. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're letting everybody know that they're gonna be going for the tag titles and the trios titles. Oh, they're the heart and soul of the company. Okay. Okay. If you're out of heart, baby, the heart is broken. Oh, Dark Order is forever. Eva Uno with a new mask, and a nice black and goldish mask. Here's our boys Lee Johnson and Blake Christian coming out to the ring, and their opponents are already in there. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for whoever's already in the ring. So prayers. Robert said he did it today. Dietrich went in on that fool. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out after this. He's OGTK says, and just think I was going to move to Texas and I changed my mind quick. I'm staying my ass in New York. Well, as a fellow New Yorker myself, I now look, the heat is not good. It's not good. Throughout the year, I haven't been here that long. So honestly, I can say the heat it cools down a little bit. You actually get a little bit of a winter here, and depending on where you live in Texas, you might get a couple of days of snow, depending on where you live. Like if you live like Dallas and a little bit more north, you'll experience that. I'm more in the middle of Texas, so the heat is absolutely insane. And I know like during August, you'll hit the triple digits a few times throughout August, but overall I don't regret it. Like as somebody who's lived in one of the most expensive states in America in comparison to Texas, like you can actually breathe in Texas in terms of financially. There's so much more affordable. And that's one of the reasons why I came here and the main reason why I am not complaining about the heat. I can actually afford to live, you know coming from New York to go to Florida. Florida, the rent and everything, taxes and everything. Like you can even if you were to let's say if you would have had the bread to put money on a home, the taxes itself is insane. that those have gone up over the years, and people who are paying mortgages or who don't have mortgages are barely able to afford the Florida taxes, which is insane, and it's not worth it. And I put in the research, and I was like, what's a good state where like you can actually afford to live? And Texas, so far, no complaints. No complaints. I don't like to feel like I'm living paycheck to paycheck. And so far in Texas, I financially I'm good. I'm good. Okay, Blake got this gold and green thing going on, which I do like the colors. He cleaned up for TV. I see nice little haircut. He went to one of them Chicago barbers, which is what you're supposed to do. You getting TV time? Hit up the barber shop. Hit up the barber shop. Now I'm not sure who their opponents are, but they are local talent. Don't squash them though, because I feel like this is an opportunity to really show if Lee Johnson and Blake are great as a team. I like them together, but I haven't seen too much of them teaming up as a team. So this is an opportunity for them to not squash whoever these poor unfortunate souls are in the ring that they're going against, and really show that tag team chemistry between the two of them. And Lee Johnson, I mean, I think he's a great wrestler, but he has not had the opportunities to really show what he can do. Dijak is local. Okay, I think he's from New Hampshire. Okay, so then Dijak will be representing the U.S. in the International Grand Prix. I don't know if you guys ever seen him before. The last Grand Prix, um, Claudio Castagnoli won that, and Claudio literally won it. What day he won it? Shit, I forgot the day he won it. I think it was like a Sunday or a Saturday. He literally took the trophy with him to when they went to Wales. So that was all in weekend last year. And he took that big ass trophy with him to Wales. And then they had all in that next weekend or whatever. It was pretty cool. So Claudio won the last one. And I don't see his name announced. I think they already announced everybody. What the hell? Oh, the match is already over. Well, damn. They could, I mean, look, I'm not somebody who would be like, oh, because they won something quickly, then that means that they're a good team. If you're doing squash matches or waiting in like 3 minutes, how are people supposed to see what y'all can do? Mm-mm. This one right here could have went on a little bit longer. Could have went on a little bit longer. They need a finisher together. They need to work on a finisher together. I think something like that would definitely work for them. We'll see. All right, so Dijak is from the US. We have new Wrestling World Order in the house that I need to start watching Ring of Honor just to catch up. Well, I can't 100% always recommend it. I'll tell you that. They have their times of where it's really good, and then there's those times where it's just like it feels like an afterthought. Right now they're right after a pay-per-view, and they're going to have their next pay-per-view in September. So right now it's feeling better. I don't know where things are going yet, but right now I'll definitely recommend checking it out. Okay, Athena is doing a promo here. She had a video package here. They're showing her feud with Tony Storm since she's won the little money in the clipboard thing. I don't know what they actually call it. I'm not gonna lie. It's just a clipboard people walking around with saying that they have an opportunity to go for a title shot whenever they want. And and I was saying this on my review yesterday that no one has actually looked at the situation as in wait until that person cash in for you to sabotage their opportunity to win the title. If they really wanted to do that, that's how you do it. Don't come out before they actually sign that little contract and the bell rings. I don't know what we're doing, but okay. Very interesting. So Alex had came out last night and kept Athena from cashing in last night, which actually not just helps Tony Storm, but it helps Athena because Athena didn't have to waste her opportunity. All right, the lovely, the beautiful Trisha Dora coming out here with the infantry. And when I said that people was walling on X about, Hulk Hogan, I'm talking about the infantry was walling too. They walling over there about it too, which is very interesting. Tyler's in the house. Hello, Tyler. How are you? Tyler said Hulk Hogan died. So sad. Mm. He said that Texas heat is crazy. I don't like it, but I'm not gonna complain. I'm just not gonna complain. Arizona heat is worse than Texas. So I haven't experienced it, but I know people who have lived in both states and say that Arizona is on another fucking level of heat and it's absolutely worse. And I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. Okay, well, the beautiful Trisha Dora going against local talent. And I would love to see more of her in the ring. I know she's just coming back from injury like about a month ago. So hopefully she's doing much better. I see I didn't catch her name that she's in the ring with. Trisha Dora no longer have dreads. Why am I literally just now realizing that? Um she has a beautiful fro though. Is this new? She didn't I literally saw her last week. I don't remember if she had dreads or not this week, but it's a good look for her. Infantry are ringside. And we have, I believe they have announced only 7 girls for the pure tournament. If they're looking for another girl, they can definitely add Trisha Dora for the women's pure tournament. Tony Khan, whenever you feel like getting started with that, we're just gonna wait. We're just gonna wait. OG said, "There you go, Brooklyn homie, Dietrich right there. Hey, Brooklyn is in the house. Absolutely. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There are times that I really miss Brooklyn, and then there are times where I'm just like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually waiting to hear about like the next pay per view they do in New York, and I'm really gonna consider going because I really do miss New York a lot. But I don't want to go during the summertime. I would prefer to go during fall. Hopefully, not when it's snowing, winter. But I don't want to go during summertime. Definitely after Labor Day would be best for me. Ooh, Trisha Dora is really working that arm of hers. This gonna be over quickly. I know it. I know it. Let's see. A new Wrestling World Order said, as a New Yorker, it's getting worse. Oh, I know this sounds weird, but I love to watch those videos where people are doing like tours of like apartments or houses. They show you how horrible or how great it looks, and then they tell you what the price is for rent. And the things that I'm seeing for like little studios where you can't even get a little fucking twin bed in, the prices are just insane in New York. And I really, I'm gonna say this about New York specifically because I've lived there. um when you're not paying for the apartment, you're not paying for the house, you're paying to just live in New York. That is it. And people don't realize like New York is like a label itself where it's like just because you're here in New York, we starting here at this price, and some of these prices are absolutely insane. Like I really don't know how I would have made it alone with a child in New York. I don't know how it is because like growing up, whenever I seen single mothers, they're all literally just on fucking NYCHA housing and all that shit. And it's like I know I don't want to be in that system. I'd rather just live in another state and just be able to make it. It's insane. It's not really affordable for most people. There are literally people living in bunk beds in apartments, splitting it, God knows 6 ways, and you still paying over $1,000. Like, what are we doing? Ah, she's twerking on her back. I like that. Trish is basically playing with her food right now. She could have beaten her quite some time ago. Pull the trigger, baby girl. I've seen her before in the ring. I'm not sure where I've seen her before. I'm trying to listen for her name. But I know I've seen her before. Dietrich says my homegirl rent is 4,500 for two bedroom in New York. Mm-mm. I mean, it could be worse, but I always, because everybody, I've always grown up hearing, "Oh, you're from New York, you're so lucky," and I'm like, what does that mean? Just go over there, see your little tourist sites, and leave. Don't live here because it's not as glamorous as it seems. Like how you see it in the movies and TV shows, it's not like that at all. Not at all. If you ain't over here with family, if you're not getting some type of housing or something, you're not gonna make it. OG said, if I didn't own my brownstone, I would have been left New York. I mean, I the whole world is so different from New York. Like New York is like one thing in comparison to everything else, and I have yet to see anything in the U.S. that reminds me of New York. Nowhere, nowhere. It's not for the faint of heart either. All right, Trisha Dora looking for a German. Not happening though. Nope, never mind. She got it. This brown color on Trish is beautiful with her skin. I really like this a lot. Let's wrap it up. All right, German for the win. Put her in the damn tournament, Tony Khan. What we doing? She could definitely be in the women's pure tournament. I would definitely root for her. One of my sisters and her husband left New York to move to Arizona. I mean, I don't know how affordable Arizona is. I won't lie to you. And I could imagine the heat probably keeping people away from Arizona, which could probably make it a little bit more affordable in terms of rent prices. I'm not talking about like electricity and keep that AC going all day, all night. Okay, we got the premier athletes. We have Mark Sterling, Aria Davari, Tony Nese, and Abs. Lord have mercy. All right, Mark Sterling is complaining about something as usual. Who they calling out? Oh, are they calling out the Von Erichs? No, Dustin, I think. If I mean somebody gotta get them titles off of them anyway. I wouldn't be mad at it. Athletes rules. I like them. I like them. Okay, they're showing Athena will be going against Alex Windsor for the Ring of Honor Women's title. Let me tell you something. I don't like it. I don't like it. I really just feel like if you Ring of Honor, I'm not gonna rant. I'm not gonna rant. I'm not gonna rant about it. OG said I agree. Tati Blake and Lee need a finisher together. Absolutely. If they get a finisher together, that would work out for them because that shows the chemistry. A lot see, let me tell you something. Like when it comes to tag teams, if a team hasn't like gone up together or they're a new team put together, they have to show that chemistry. One of those things is having moves together, not just finishers, but moves that you guys do together in the ring. If you guys are just tagging in and out and doing your own thing, it's gonna feel more like just two people they put together as a team. We have to see a hell of a lot more with them. So I mean, I'm not saying I don't like them together. I'm just saying we need more synergy. What is this? TNT Championship, Lee Moriarty versus Dustin. Oh my god. Where did this come from? Oh my god. Um. Anyway, Nick Wayne About to go next with Gringo Loco. I love Gringo Loco. If y'all never seen him, you're tripping. He's a really, really great wrestler. So this is a Proving Grounds match. They're showing a clip from Nick Wayne's little promo from last night on Dynamite. Um, I think you know what? I'm not 100% sure, but I think the little new group is called Uncaged. That's what I took it as yesterday. That may or may not be true. I'm just saying. I think I'm not sure, but we'll see. OG says, "I girl Trish Adora. I love her. I really do." Tia's in the house. Hello, Tia. How are you? King Leo's in the house. Hello. All right, Gringo Loco is coming out first. They're not champion. He said, "That's Aaliyah. She's one of Athena's." That's what I was saying. She's from Texas, right? If she is, and I've seen her. Gringo Loco. Is he from Chicago? They're making a lot of noise for him. He's great either way. Wherever he's from, I don't know. I like his braids. He's really good. Like when they kind of started with Ring of Honor, he was heavily on the show on a weekly basis. He's definitely featured a lot over the years on GCW. Where else have I seen him? I've seen him do a lot of other things, but primarily on GCW. So we didn't see him in Ring of Honor for a little bit, and here and there he makes his appearances on Ring of Honor. I feel like he's a talented wrestler, and he's one of those bigger guys that move in a way that you wouldn't expect. Oh, Mama Wayne! Oh, Lord have mercy! Oh, Mama Wayne said, "Look, I'm single now. I'm single. I'm wearing whatever the hell I want to wear." Okay, I feel you, girl. Was she on Mystery Wrestling? I don't know, but she's from Texas, and I've seen her before. I've seen her before at one of these indie shows for sure. You said, yeah, LeBron Erickson, Dustin. They what happened to Josh? Y'all remember Josh Woods? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Josh, he not injured. I saw him at the hotel. I wasn't gonna bother him because he looked like he was running somewhere. But I mean, look, somebody who look fine doesn't mean that they're okay to be in the ring. But I have not seen him in a match in damn. What's the last time I seen him? It's been a while. It's been a while. Maybe like shit. I actually don't know. I don't know. All right, Mother Wayne ringside. Bell about to ring for. Is this the main event? Hey, they're making a lot of noise for Gringo Loco. I'm wondering, is he from Chicago? Oh. All right, the bell has rung. And I just want to say that I did not condone that heinous attack from last night from Hangman attacking Wheeler Yuta like that. He didn't have to do all that. After he won, a buckshot lariat is enough, isn't it? Isn't it enough? Did they have to leave Wheeler Yuta bleeding like that? I don't think so. Killian said Blue Psycho need the like button. Absolutely. Gringo is nice. I met him many times. I've never met him like I mean, I've been to shows where he's been at, but not like in a meet and greet type of thing. All right, Nick Wayne. Now, I would like to Nick Wayne with this title. I would like to see him featured a lot more, especially with the pay per view they're gonna do. What I said it was again September. I think they should focus on him a hell of a lot more moving on to that pay per view. Obviously, based off the promos and everything and what they did to our stepdaddy, um, Nick is definitely a heel, and he can. Hold on. Mama Wayne, please move out the way, please. I can't take anyone else getting hurt. Obviously, a distraction that Nick Wayne's gonna take for his um advantage. Now, but what we doing with Kip is what I'm trying to figure out though, because Kip he been out there with this group, but hasn't necessarily I feel like done anything with them. Maybe he's did like a tag or trios match when they were like in the beginning with Christian, but obviously nothing else. And Kip is an amazing wrestler too. So that's kind of criminal how we're not actually seeing him do anything. And why Kip look like a model ringside too? I'm just not realizing that. The hair is flowing, the beard is bearding, and that shirt look good. He actually matches with Mama Wayne. They're both wearing a white top and gray bottoms. Okay, okay. Nick Wayne putting in the work. He's really young. I mean, I hate using the term somebody got their whole career ahead of them. But you never know, especially with injuries or anything else. And I like what I see with him. He's very ambitious, which I really like. And if they really play their cards right with him, especially with this TV title, then he's definitely gonna make it far. This is the same title that I feel like really put Kyle Fletcher on the map as a singles wrestler. Obviously, they gave Kyle opportunity to really show off with that title. So Nick Wayne can use it. Why Nick Wayne looking like he reaching out to tag somebody? Baby, this is 1-on-1. Interesting. We got Yash in the house. Said, "What are we discussing here? Ring of Honor, wrestling, anything I feel like talking about." So far, we had a few matches. I believe this is the main event. This is a Proving Grounds match for the TV title, Gringo Loco versus Nick Wayne. And Gringo Loco is like two times the size of Nick. I think Nick might be taller. He gotta stand up so I can see. Okay, so we're 4 minutes in. Proving ground matches are 10 minutes. If you can last 10 minutes, then you get an opportunity for the title. Or you can pin the champion, have him submit. What he doing? Is he dancing on top of the rope? Like, bro, what is going on? Nick Wayne is so his face is so animated right now. He's like, look, I'm going for the kill. I'm gonna wrap this up. This don't need to be long. This don't need to be long. He got glitter all over himself. I don't know what that's about, but that's a hell of a lot of glitter. I hate glitter. It is so hard to wait. Hold on, three. Uh, um, I know it's a proving ground match, but damn. What I was gonna say? They took the words. Hologram and Ishii versus MXM. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know. But whatever. Ishii said, "Look, y'all busy in New Japan. Let me come on over here and do a little something, something." So it is what it is. That match was over a little too quick for me for a main event, but Nick Wayne he wins, so Gringo Loco does not get a title shot for the future. Oh, she said, Mama Wayne outside. Yes, she is. She's like, look, I'm single. All right. Don't bother me. I know people flooding her DMs right now. I know it. Absolutely. Black Cat's in the house. Hello, Black Cat. How are you? Black Star said, did you see the South Park premiere? Baby, what is if it ain't wrestling or horror, I'm not watching. To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't watch these things to be honest. Do you think we're gonna see a double turn at SummerSlam? Baby, I don't know what's going on for SummerSlam. I really don't know. So I personally couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. Kalia said Uncage. I think that's the name of the group. I'm not sure, but we'll see. He said they're back to microwave Thursdays again. I don't like the fact that the episode is under an hour. This is what I was saying. Like with them being in Chicago and having a residency, they can take advantage of that and do some filming. Um, they can dedicate a day. They did. I mean, that's what they did when they was in Texas. If they really, and that's the last time I felt like the show was really, really popping because they took their time off. Like I think it was like they did they did filming after every show that I went to, and well, at least every like collision and stuff like that. But they also dedicated like time in the weekend to do tapings, and that right there, like, why not take advantage of that to be able to get these matches out there, these stories out there. So it doesn't seem like they are doing that. Not 100% sure, but based on what I'm seeing, it doesn't seem like they are doing that. You gotta take advantage of these things. Black Star said it showed Trump cuddling with the devil. Oh, you talking about South Park? I was about to say that, bro. What are you talking about? Well, Ring of Honor is over, so if y'all want to talk about something else, and that's fine. Speaking of cuddling, they caught up Rick Ross cuddling with somebody the other day too. I'm not gonna get into it, but if you want to look it up, go ahead and look it up. It's not looking good for your boy. Not looking good at all. All right, for anybody who missed Ring of Honor, they are showing the replay now. They are showing the replay. Anthony Henry is so cute, really cute. Um, I don't know how y'all feeling about last night episode of Dynamite. I didn't like whatever they do. See, the Hurt Syndicate thing that I do like is how they almost giving that APA vibe of, hey, we paying y'all to take care of people. We paying y'all to hurt people. I like that. I think that's a good idea. I don't know why it's taking so long for them to actually do that. But we're starting with it. The thing I didn't like was what happened with MJF and I guess Bobby or just the whole group. Now MJF, they know he annoying as hell. We all know that. But for whatever reason, I don't want to say look like the group is done. Not necessarily that, but it felt like that came out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. If MJF was consistently annoying on a weekly basis with them, then I probably would understand why Bobby had snapped last night. But we have not seen anything in terms of MJF like annoying them or some shit. And then all of a sudden Bobby just snapped. Like that after you got that little check from Adam, y'all just grabbing up MJF like that. I don't know. She said it made no sense why they caught off the MJF thing the way you did. I don't know. We'll see where it's going. They spent quite a long time, too long to ask me, just to have MJF join that group. And if you end it now like that, mm, I don't know. I don't think they're necessarily going to end it, but maybe this is the beginning of the cracks of the group. And honestly, they could have let this thing ride out quite longer, hell of a lot longer. I don't think it's going to give that bromance that we had with Adam Cole and MJF. I'm not saying it's going to be that, but it could be better if they put a little bit more effort into it. Hey Fletcher, baby, how are you? We know Bobby. What you said? You said no. He has been every time he brought the title. Bobby would side eye him. I mean, since he joined the group, are you talking about before he joined? I mean, I personally I haven't noticed that. I'll go back and look and see if that's the case. Unless Bobby is jealous and he wants the title himself. Um, would they have? Did y'all see Bobby or Shelton holding that title? Hmm. I personally haven't thought that far. I'm not gonna lie. Um, well, I haven't thought that far. I'm not gonna lie. I will say, I think the match that they did at All In might have been their best match yet. The other matches before, they've been okay, but my main problem is I get they're supposed to hurt people. I just haven't felt like it's helped anybody. You know what I mean? Like in a wrestling sense, it as in, yeah, we're working with you. You're gonna deal with us or have a match with us. You're gonna lose, but they're supposed to help you look good. You know, and I don't feel like that's helped anybody. They pretty much put Outrunners in another stratosphere, and not in a good way. The Guns, you know what? It hasn't been good for them since the Guns came back. Remember, the Guns came back for that one match they did with Hurt Syndicate. Then they were out for a bit. They got back at All In, and last Collision is where Colton got hurt, and now they're back on the shelf. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. So for every team that they've gone against, I feel like there hasn't been a payoff in any way with going against the Hurt Syndicate. And maybe that's the point. You know what I mean? As them being, I can't necessarily say that they're full heels because I haven't felt like that about the group, but they haven't necessarily helped anybody look good either. So I don't know. The only way it makes sense is if MJF buys Lashley and Shelton for his services. Um, but he in a group. He in a group. That would be crazy if he had to do all of that. Maybe I think it would just have a little rough patch, and they'll be fine from when they talk about, I don't know, something like that. I want to say I can see Bobby with the world title, but he has to stick with MVP. Bobby in promos is not for me, and I don't know about y'all, and I'm pretty sure we're on the same page on that. I think he would need somebody like MVP by his side if he was going to be holding the world title. Shelton, I would love to see that title on him. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I just haven't thought about it. I really haven't. I haven't thought about it at all. Um, I don't know if y'all interested in seeing that. To be honest with you, we'll see how it works out for them. I wonder if they were to hold the title, who would it be feuding with to get the title? That also matters as well. So it's important on who they would be feuding with. MJF would screw Shelton and Bob by helping FTR dethrone them and bring the Pinnacle, since Wardlow is prepping the Pinnacle, going after Hangman Page to get the title off MJF. I don't to give the title to MJF. I don't know. I don't know. Um, what was wait? Oh, wait a minute. I don't know if anybody remembers this far back. Did MJF? No, not MJF. Did Wardlow ever get his opportunity for the world title? Do y'all remember Wardlow had earned the opportunity to go against MJF for the world title, and for a little bit he was stalking him. And I think the next pay per view is when MJF had lost the title at World's End. Did he ever get his opportunity? Because if he never did, then maybe he wouldn't help him. Maybe he would still be trying to get that opportunity to go for the world title. If anybody can remember that far back, I don't know. And then the Pinnacle. Um, Tully and them was over there, right? I don't know if they're gonna do it. I don't know if they're gonna do it. We'll see. MJF helped FTR dethrone Hurt Syndicate, Copeland, and Christian dethrone FTR and Calendar at All Out. I don't know. The Pinnacle thing, I don't see that happening. I mean, I see Wardlow coming back. And then wait a minute. No, because Wardlow was in the or was this before? When did they have the reveal for the Devil Mask thing? Was that before or after World's End? No, that had to been. I cannot remember when exactly that happened. But Wardlow was in that group. Wardlow was in that group. So if Wardlow was in that group, I don't think it would make sense for Wardlow. But one of the last things that he did was being in the group that was supposed to take out MJF and then come back and being with MJF. Um, we got to fill in the gaps a little bit with that. So I don't know if that works out. I gotta look back at that. See, this is one of those things where Max should be having like all these episodes of like Collision, Dynamite, Rampage, and everything for people to go back and look at these things. People do want to go back at that. Blaster said Fletcher that won't make sense either. OG says since he joined the group, also go back and watch the scrum where Bobby hinted wanting the title. What scrum? If it's all in scrum, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. So if it's that, I didn't see that one. Um, and I can see Bobby. I can see them going for Bobby with that title. Shelton, I don't know. I don't know. He said, "Why doesn't it make sense? FTR been feuding with Colt for a while." Okay, are you saying that FTR, and Wardlow gonna get together? Is what you're saying? I don't see it. Not in 2025. I don't see it. I mean, but I get you in a sense where everybody's kind of connected a little bit right now with what just happened last night. But I don't know if they're gonna go that route. We'll see. We'll see. I think we're gonna see Adam using her syndicate again because he's on his own right now. And I don't know if he got any other friends over there, but since our stepdaddy went to go find himself, I think he's gonna use them again. Um, FTR did win their little spot in the tournament to advance on for the tag titles for what is it? It was Forbidden Door. So we'll see this feud play out a little bit more. But MJF with FTR already, I don't know. He said, "Why detour from the world title just to screw Bobby and Shelton?" Um, I mean, he wanted the title this whole entire time. I don't know what they're gonna do because he hasn't shut up about the title. And let's be honest with you, they've done so much quickly with someone who's so young like MJF, especially as being a world champion. And since he has lost that title, he's kind of been like just coasting, you know what I mean? And this is what happens when somebody's really young and he has been able to achieve getting the biggest title over there. And I don't know which way they moving. We him. I forgot to say it's Bay's birthday today, Zack Sabre Jr. His birthday, forgot to say that. If anybody's celebrating anything today, Zack Sabre Jr. We love him. He did lose his match against Shota Umino in the G1 climax, so that was very interesting. I didn't like how it happened, but whatever. I'm not booking the show over there. Got nothing to do with me. But we'll see what ended up happening with that. Oh, and then speaking of Zack Sabre Jr., and he's the reason why I feel like William. Remember, William said last night that what he did. He didn't say nothing about no surgery. He said something about like getting therapy for his neck or whatever, and that he should be there at Forbidden Door. And I know he is. He's definitely want to be at Forbidden Door because they're gonna be in the UK. Why would he not want to be there? And I do feel like they have that door open. Maybe not 100% sure, but it looks like they would do like the UK guy versus the UK guy, which is Zach versus William at Forbidden Door. I feel like they're gonna go that route. Now, if William is okay to be able to do it, he'll do it, whether he's okay or not, to be honest with you. But Zack Sabre Jr., he's doing the tournament right now. And when I tell you everybody's gonna be beat the fuck up after doing this tournament, like it's I mean, so many people we only done 4 nights already. And the thing is with the G1, you're not only just doing singles matches that pertains to the tournament, but you're also doing tag matches too, and they're putting themselves a little bit more at risk by having these tag matches in between their singles matches for the tournament. I don't really like the idea. I'm not feeling it because too many people are getting hurt. Too many people are getting hurt. King Leo, come on the stream with me. You ain't doing anything. I'm gonna send you the link. Um, hold on. Where am I on the chat? I'm gonna send you the link, bro. So we'll see what goes on with that. Because Forbidden Door, I really feel like they should right now. it doesn't feel like they are doing the Forbidden Door thing. If I keep seeing everybody fantasy booking Forbidden Door as in like AEW wrestlers going against AEW wrestlers, and to me, how does that help? How does that help? What Forbidden Door is that? The door is closed if it's AEW wrestlers going against AEW wrestlers. So if people in CMLL not doing anything, or if people from whoever it is in New Japan that's not beaten up by then why not? Hold on, where? Let me send this link real quick. So we'll see. One second. One second. Okay, so he said Bobby cleared side eye MJF when he was screaming, "I'm the best in the world" last week. To okay, I'm gonna go back and look at that. I don't remember seeing that. But if we're being honest, Bobby was the one that was against him being in the group from the very beginning. When MVP said yes since the jump, Shelton was just like, I don't know, kind of don't care. And Bobby didn't like the idea. What was it that won Bobby over again? It wasn't the hose. It wasn't that car either. Something won him over, and he's over there now. So I don't know. I don't remember exactly what it is, but like it is not far fetched in terms of Bobby already didn't like um fucking MJF, but since MJF has joined the group, I other than him running his mouth about shit about getting the Triple B back and over, I haven't seen him done anything to like literally upset anybody in the group, if that makes sense. Or not. I don't know. Y'all let me know. He said to get the Pinnacle reunion. Black Cat said I'd rather see Shelton with the AEW championship. He's never won the big oh, you're right. You're right. If we're talking that, you're right. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Um I don't want to just say he should just have the title just because he's never had like a big title like this before, only just having mid card titles. They still got to do it the right way. Whoever it is that he's feuding. Um, I don't know what y'all would rate um Shelton in terms of promos, but he's not as strong either. And I don't know if I care to see it being like a Hurt Syndicate breakup where it's going to be um Shelton versus Bobby type of thing, the race for the AW World Championship, some shit like that. I don't necessarily care for that. I definitely see them pushing for Bobby Shelton. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. Wait, what he said? Okay, well, Shelton puts on better matches. If we're talking about singles matches, absolutely. Then Bobby, we love you. I'm just saying. Um, Out of the two, if we're comparing these two, yes, Shelton has the better matches. Um, I'll be cool. I'll be cool with it. I think we'll get better matches out of Shelton than Bobby. But you never know. Bobby might surprise us. But still, Bobby would need MVP as that mouthpiece. Shelton could probably still use MVP. I would try to give him a chance to see if he can do it on his own. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Where am I with the comments? Why am I losing the comments? Hold on. Shelton with the world AW world title. What's this? We can't be just offering title reigns just because they never got the big. Well, see, that's what I was saying. Like, I didn't want to say like just because he hasn't that he should get the world title. I do feel like he's capable of like this is one of those situations like I was saying yesterday with Swerve. Like WWE really, if you personally, I feel like they would have never taken Swerve where Swerve is at right now. I do feel like it's not just a WWE thing, but a lot of these promotions, somebody come through the door behind them, they already kind of know who they want to use as like their favorites or the top guys or whatever. And then throughout the run, you get surprised by certain people, you know. I think from the jump that AEW look at, Shane as in okay, he could be a top guy. I liked him when he was tagging with what's his name? Keith Lee. I felt like they've been a great team with each other. The issue was at the time, the Acclaim got real hot with the scissoring shit and all that stuff. And I hate sometimes when promotions are just like, oh, something is hot, let's keep it going by taking the titles off of a team that really shouldn't be stripped of the titles to just to give it to someone else just because they're popular. I think that at the time Swerve and Aguirre was a better team, but Acclaim got popular, and somehow that kind of worked out for them in the end. And I think they dropped it to the Guns, right? And they had Billy Gunn in that whole storyline, as in he's a new dad of the Acclaim, and the Guns were no longer his son. Some shit they was doing that I honestly did not care for at all. But Swerve, since then they put him on. Oh wait, a few times they try to reignite the feud with Swerve and Keith Lee up until the point that Keith Lee got ill, and we haven't seen him since. And it just didn't work out. And then from there, they got serious with Swerve and just him doing single shit, and it's worked out. The only thing, I mean, although it's worked out at this point, when Swerve got the title, I didn't. I didn't like when he won it. I was kind of pushing for what pay-per-view was that again? Was that Revolution that he won the title? So many pay-per-views now that I barely remember when things are happening. But when he won the title, I kind of felt like we could have pushed it because Samoa Joe, he not somebody to keep a title warm type of dude. Like Samoa Joe is that dude. So I was really surprised to see them take the title off of him. Was it even 3 months? Shit, was that even 3 months or something of that sort? And I don't think they did enough with him. He had a fucking match with Hook as a champion. What's the next comment? There's just no way. There's just no way. No, no. Shelton hinted at a TNT title. Yes, yes, at a TNT title. I think that would have worked out at the time, but I know from the jump they must have looked at. They wanted to put the tag titles on Shelton and Bobby for sure. So they just didn't go that route. But he did hint at that at first when he got there. The Pinnacle, one problem, Fletch, is not a lot of the people in that group is incomplete. Right. Some of the certain people are not there. So I mean FTR, MJF, that's a thing. If you were in a group with MJF, you would be a fool to get back in a group with him. That's like the number one thing. This is the reason why I see Wardlow not doing it. Not doing it. And Wardlow having that moment when what match was it? Wardlow. It was MJF and CM Punk dog collar match. When he could have helped MJF, he ends up putting the dynamite ring to obviously help him lose. And that was the moment that Wardlow needed to completely remove himself out of the situation, and it worked out for him to remove him out of the situation. But so much more could have happened with Wardlow, especially when he had the TNT title and everything. They fucked up the whole thing. Now that I think about it, oh my god. Um, this is why I say like I be feeling some type of way when it comes to big men in wrestling, and big guys. Unfortunately, almost everywhere are booked the same way. Hey, BPSR, I see you in the chat. They're booked almost the same way in terms of, oh, you're a big meaty guy. We want you to come out and have squash matches, power bomb for the win, all that shit. That's literally what they did. They did that with Wardlow. What's the other one name again? Wardlow. Powerhouse Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs did that because he had the TNT title for a little bit, and they threw him with oh god, I can see his face in my head. I can't remember his name. What the fuck is his name? Who they threw him in with? Um, y'all forgive me. I watch too much wrestling. There's so much going on. He was with a QT. Powerhouse Hobbs was with QT. They put QT with Powerhouse Hobbs as a manager. These people, why? I don't even know why they did that. I have no clue. I have no clue. Either way, Didn't work out at all. And that's the thing, like big guys aren't moving. Y'all remember do y'all remember EJ and Duca when he got released or he left, whatever the situation was a few months back, he was primarily featured on Ring of Honor. Um, he was saying that the complaint really as in terms of why he wasn't able to do much was because they didn't have anybody for him because he was like too big or too tall, some shit like that. And I'm just like, what it's kind of interesting to think that somebody's being too big to have opponents is kind of insane. And when you think about it, some of these big guys, that's the problem that they have. It just seems like, yeah, they're bigger than a lot of opponents, but they're not booked the right way at all. He said, but TK rather put the TNT title on Dustin. I can't. Well, it won't be long. At least I don't think so. So we'll see. What about instead of having Wardlow rejoin MJF, have Wardlow join Hurt Syndicate? Now, I mean, look, since you don't have to be black, apparently, to be in the group, Wardlow, I mean, not that he wouldn't fit. My thing was I wanted that whoever it was that would join Hurt Syndicate to be different from Bobby and Shelton. Bobby and Shelton, they're all powerhouses. Adding Wardlow, another powerhouse to the group, I don't feel like it works that well. Having somebody with a completely different style will probably be the best case scenario for that group. I think that would work out better. No Wardlow, no chairman, no Tully. Well, Sean Spears, he busy. Wardlow is here, Black Star. Well, what he's saying is like, you know, not in the group. I don't see it happening. Tully said that nobody appreciated him in AEW. I'll never forget Tully talking about how he was back there. He said nobody was asking him questions. Nobody was like, "Hey, Tully, can you watch my?" I cannot believe Arn Anderson, Tully over there. You had the four horsemen over there, and nobody was asking questions. I'm not a wrestler, and I would be bothering these people asking questions. Like I cannot believe it. And this is kind of interesting because I really do feel like a lot of the younger generation just don't. They feel like they could just do whatever they want to do in terms of being a wrestler and not having to look back at the people who paved the way. Like these guys are not going to be here forever. And if you are happen to have an opportunity where these type of guys are literally in your locker room or part of your company and you are not taking advantage of that, you're insane. You're insane. I would literally been bothering these people, asking them questions, and they I don't think they actually took advantage of that at all with them being over there. So I don't think that they can pay Arn what Arn doing right now? Is he signed somewhere? I don't know. I mean, I know his son Brock, he's in MLW, and let me just say Brock. You know what? I'm not saying it. Never mind. Um, I don't know what Arn is doing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure. But Tully, he not coming back. Tully not coming back. Warlow is returning. He just hinted on Instagram. The Wolf is returning. Yes, in AEW. Jay Millie is here. He said, what's cracking Tati? And he did get that match and lost when Adam Cole told him, you're going to win it and bring it to me. What match? With MJF? When did that happen? I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. That's what I'm saying. Like if they were to have these episodes where people to look back at, that would be great. And it would have been nice if they were to be having the new pay per views over there. But apparently they have other plans. I think wouldn't it be more convenient to just have everything within AEW just in one place? If they would have had been airing the pay-per-views there, I think people would like that rather than having to have Amazon and all these other things to purchase. It's a little bit too much. He said, I see MJF and FTR aligning for sure. Jay Millie said World's End. No, they didn't have the match at World's End. Because he went Samoa Joe, right? Samoa Joe won the title at World's End from MJF. The pay-per-view before that, Full Gear, was Jay White and MJF. Maybe it happened somewhat in between that time, I'm thinking. because I don't think MJF was there after World's End. I think he was injured during that time. David Bond is here. Hello, David. How are you, Mister All Days Off? He said we smoking on the. What's the next comment? Black Star said, "Now, if all ego, he said now if had all ego to replace the chairman, okay, that would be fun. I mean, that would have been interesting, but I don't know. I don't know if he would have wanted to do that. There was so much potential with Ethan Page and AEW. It just didn't happen. Didn't happen at all. Jay Miller said, "Mr. All Days Off, all day we smoking on it." OG said, "Don't forget Richard Holiday and Alexander Hammerstone are no longer signed to ML. But weren't they? He was just there. Well, when this happened, I saw Hammerstone. Oh no, never mind. Hammerstone was at the last show I saw him. What was it, like 2 weeks ago at Maple Leaf? Hammerstone was in that battle royal gauntlet thing that they were doing. Not even a whole month ago. So maybe he left during that time. I'm thinking. And remember, no, wait a minute. When MJF when he was on MLW a couple of weeks ago, Hammerstone did some video with MJF backstage. I don't know if he was on that show. I don't remember, but he was there. So I don't know if he left after that. Then I guess that's different. We're full in AEW. Y'all know that we're full. So I don't know about that. But I wouldn't mind seeing him go against quite a few people that are in AEW. I would hate for another big guy like Alex to come along to AEW and get lost in the shuffle. Brian Cage, you know what? That's another one too. That's another one too. Oh my God. What's the next comment? If TK is getting Dark Order out of the shelf for Hangman, I can see TK bringing back the Pinnacle. At least just MJF with FTR. Well, you know what? Didn't he mention Dark Order? Did he mention them yesterday or some shit like that? I can see them doing that for Hangman. I can see it. It won't last that long, but get a little bit of TV time. He said, "I know that's possible." He said, "I know that's not possible, but we can dream. If we had all ego, why? We have a ton of talent to add." Mr. Alexander said, "I'm late. I thought today was Friday. I'm here thinking SmackDown was about to come on for his tribute." Well, we'll see. We'll see. Y'all know he was definitely, if not, oh damn, it's hard to say the biggest. You know what? I think it is hard to say the biggest superstar that they've ever had. I know we think of like Rock and Austin, but there was something about Hogan that's bigger than them, you know, and they'll do that 10 bell count for him and everything. They'll probably have the whole locker room out there on the stage or surrounding the ring. They'll probably do all that. To be honest with you, um, I, I got plans on Friday, so I'm not even worried about. I'm not even gonna be watching it, so I don't know. MJF did record a backstage segment with Hammerstone when he attacked Mr. That's what I was saying. Yeah, in MLW, I saw that too. I didn't know he left since then because that was like 3 weeks ago. So I didn't know. Maybe a surprise team is MJF and Hammerstone on the tournament to face her. But that's really quick if they did this though, because this is about Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door is literally a month from today. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying that's not a possibility, but holy shit, we'll see. Mr. Alexander said, "I'm sure y'all said it, but Hogan died on the 10-year anniversary of his racist sex tape." Oh, well, that I didn't know. Kim Leo said, "I'm holding back my jokes." Okay, bro, I sent you a link. I don't know where you went. Michael McGee series at Hammerstone and his Holiday are free agents in MLW. And can well, I didn't know that. When did this happen? The name G1 Climax always been funny to me because because I think about G Spot Climax. Jamie Lee, get your head out the gutter. He said, Leo, I jinx Hogan. LOL, you remember? Oh, Three Eye Raven on the chat. The tape about to resurface. Oh well, typically that's what happened. Pleasure said, "Y'all really making fun of a dead person? Come on, hey, like I'm not necessarily making jokes. I'm just reading comments. Honestly, whatever I would say about Hogan today or tomorrow is literally what I've said about him all this time. I'm not gonna act brand new and say. I mean, from what I'm seeing people say, there have been some jokes that I've seen where I was just like, holy shit, that is really harsh to say if it was somebody else. But I cannot tell people how to feel about anything. You know, people, they have their opinions on whatever they want to have their opinions on. And Hogan have said things and done things in his career more than just the racist shit or whatever. This is a man who's literally kept people from moving on up in a company just to look out for himself and a couple of his homies. This guy wasn't about the business, he was about himself. You know, and yeah, he's made some friends along the way, but he made a lot of enemies doing that as well. So there are people who are, I guess you can say, celebrating his death. I'm not celebrating nothing. You know, personally, it's neither here or there for me. It don't affect me in any type of way. But there are people who have had experiences with him, and then there are people who never had like something direct with him, but his comments and his actions do make people feel a certain type of way. And I feel like people are valid to have those opinions too, you know. Um However they express it, I can't tell people to not say certain things or not do certain things. It is what it is. What am I gonna do about it? I'm not gonna be able to change anybody's mind. You know, he influenced wrestling in ways that has changed the game. That is true, you know. And it did take Vince McMahon also to you know, him being Vince McMahon boy toy, that helped. Vince McMahon was a huge mastermind in the whole thing, to be honest with you. Hulk Hogan, he was a mix of a whole bunch of wrestlers that didn't unfortunately make it due to injuries or the company kind of being biased over people, whatever. They've taken bits and pieces of other people to create this Hulk Hogan character. Now, Hulk Hogan as a character has, you know, has had tremendous achievements in this business. I'm not going to take that away from him. But Terry, as a person, has been a shitty person. And if people don't want to celebrate Terry as a person, they don't have to do that. They don't. Mr. Odezon said, well, we are a heel chant. He said he died hours ago too soon. Well, I mean, hey, however y'all feel. He said, I don't see the hate towards Triple H. What? We don't like Triple H. Pleasure, you know we don't like Triple H. He said that dude was making monkey gestures towards Mark Henry back in the day. Y'all praise Levesque. Oh, y'all never heard me praising Paul Levesque. So definitely not me. What's the difference between him and Hogan? Um, I don't see the difference, to be honest with you. I don't necessarily see the difference. Hogan, in more than one occasions, it has shown himself to be racist. I can't necessarily say many occurrences that I've seen about Paul, but I would say that I'm not a fan of his in any type of way. And I don't give passes to anybody. Now, I do feel like there are times where people do and say ignorant things that are racist or discriminatory towards other people, and you can learn that what you did was wrong and move on. But Hulk Hogan has said, I'm sorry, and done it again over and over again. And it's just like you saying sorry just to say sorry. Like if you racist or whatever, personally, I don't care. I'm not bothered by it. But if you come on a public platform or just, you know, treating people differently because of your racist views, and you throwing out slurs at people, whatever, then people have the right to be upset about it, whether you did or not. So, people are feeling exactly how they felt about Hogan today as like they felt about him yesterday. You didn't change anything. You didn't change anything at all. But we'll see what they end up doing. I will say this though, that the people who are saying things about Hogan today, y'all gonna be watching SmackDown anyway. When they over there doing their little 10 bell salute and everything, y'all gonna have a moment of silence for him too. So it is what it is. That whole company they have skeletons in that closet, a hell of a lot. Even the information that, yeah, they got that sexual assault thing going on. The ring boy scandal is still fucking going on. Y'all literally just kind of put all that shit in the back of your mind, and y'all will be watching Raw, y'all will be watching SmackDown. And I had made that decision, like, I think like around Royal Rumble, to no longer support the company because all this shit is just insane to me. So I'm standing on business by not supporting WWE. Now, these wrestlers in the ring have 100% my support. They, most of them, I would say, probably have nothing to do with all that scandalous shit that's been going on. But you're still going to support the company despite complaining. So it kind of really don't matter. Don't matter. Y'all will be tuning in on SmackDown anyway. Mr. Olazon said, but I do respect people who loved his wrestling. Yeah, like the people who were friends with him and the people who are celebrating his legacy in terms of him as a wrestler, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And I also see nothing wrong with the people who hate how of a shitty person he was and tearing his ass up today. I don't see nothing wrong with that either. Either or. I am a very neutral person. I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like I'm hurt by this in any way. Um, my views on life is very different from other people. I literally look at life as in you live and you die, and that's it. And what you do with your life is how people are going to judge you, even when you are gone. So, in terms of like being too soon for jokes or not, we said these jokes yesterday. His ass was still alive. So it doesn't change anything about how people feel just because someone has passed away. One thing that I remember saying a while back about Vince McMahon, he's still alive or whatever. Shitty people do good things. Shitty people contribute to society or sports or entertainment in positive ways. But people don't have to respect them as people of who they are when you take off the Hulk Hogan mask and you're Terry, when you take off the Vince McMahon mask and you still Vince McMahon. You know what I mean? Like these people, they're one way in front of the camera and another way outside of that. Like I don't care if it's entertainment or not, you can still be a shitty person, and it doesn't get a pass. And I'm not even talking about him voting for Trump. I don't give a fuck if you MAGA. I really don't care. This is a guy who literally was saying racist and discriminatory things towards Kamala Harris during the election thing, just the end of last year. And it got to the point where it's just like, well, you don't have to vote for her, but you didn't have to get to that point. Like he still was showing that despite him saying sorry and over again about the shit that he's done in the past, that he ain't learned nothing. And it is what it is. You can celebrate his wrestling legacy and think he's a shitty person. I think that's fine. Chris Benoit, a fucking amazing wrestler, one of the best technical wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. Shitty person. It is what it is. Fletcher says, sorry, I just think it's respectful to be having jokes and acting like it's a celebration day when a person just died. I mean, I'm not celebrating anything. It's just another Thursday for me. So I agree with that. We all still watch Triple H each week. I think it's because Hogan never said sorry for his comments backstage at that WWE event. What backstage comment you talking about? You talking about, is it the from when they fired him or some shit like that, or is this something else? I'm not sure which one you're talking about. GM said MJF showed that he could hurt someone, I believe, and that's why Bobby reluctantly let him in. Was that trios match? If it's that trios match, that's not enough. That's not enough. Not necessarily that they liked him, But hey, he was able to do something enough to be like for Bobby to say, you know, what, all right, fine, we'll let you win. He said I was in a chat earlier, like 400 people was celebrating. It was wild. Well, like I said, if you go on X, it's insane what I've been seeing. You know, it's insane. Black Cat said MJFB up top flight, and that's what it was. Top flight haven't even recovered. Oh my god, this is what I was saying too about the teams. Every team that Hurt Syndicate has gone against, what has happened with them? Nothing. Top flight is literally right now with what's the cute guy that just came back again? Scorpio Sky. And you know, we've been seeing little promos, little clips of them on TV, but nothing has actually happened yet. We'll see where it goes as a team. I'm not really sure. You said Mr. Wally, I respect that, but did Triple H ever apologize for making monkey gestures towards Mark Henry? I only saw the clip today, but that shit was wild. I don't know. I personally do not know. I'm not sure. Michael said I could see TJWP, Stardom, CMLL, Rev Pro a part of Forbidden Door. But that's why they could do that. I can see, but they've never done all of them together for Forbidden Door. They did it this year for what's the new pay per view called? Wrestle Dynasty. Is it Wrestle Dynasty or Dynasty? Whatever it is, the one they did in Japan, the new pay per view they did this year. That's what they got all the promotions for earlier this year. Forbidden Door, like I said, if they can't get people from New Japan like that, the door should be open for the Stardom girls and CMLL and everybody else. Rev Pro, Rev Pro. Well, they do have Michael doing some appearances from Rev Pro, so they could do it. They can do it. Mr. Alexon said, I agree with you. Actually, I'm not sure why people get Triple H. No, you don't get a pass from me. Because brainwashed WWE fans can't hate Triple H. I know, he said, I don't know what the issue is. He's not God. There's a lot of tribalism where people kind of ignore things because they want to show their support. Like you can like somebody and be like, well, somebody did something wrong. Like, what's wrong with saying, admitting that someone has done something wrong or you don't like something? And that's something that I see a lot when it comes to wrestling. People feel like they have to be a ride or die of a certain person or character and never say or do anything that look like they're against that person, which is insane. You can like somebody and say you didn't like something. He said, I'm sorry, I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm a little heated with the celebration of Hogan's death. Literally, wrestling content creators celebrating, not you, Tati, or Leo. It's just wild. Well, I haven't personally seen any videos yet. So I don't know. All I've seen is just some comments on X, and that's all I've seen so far. So I haven't actually seen anybody's opinions on it as of yet. So I admit I did see someone said looks like the racists ain't running wild no more, brother. Mister on this on. Just reading comments. He said, Mr. Odizov, I bet you asked the person what made that comment if he supports Triple H and he would say yes. Probably. Probably. To be fair, it goes both ways. Again, to be fair, I understand you will say I support WWE too much, but those who know me know I'm fair. Says yeah, it was a WWE chat on one of those retro streams. Oh my god. LOL, I'm shocked he didn't get banned for the day. When they be doing those live streams, they don't be having moderators on the chat. I mean, if you talking about WWE Vault, I don't think they had moderators on there. I'm not sure. AEW didn't never have moderators, so never look at their live chats. They wilding over there. But if that's the case, then I can see some people, putting their thoughts on things. He said, I'm just trolling though. I'm indifferent. I'm not sad nor happy, just glad. I'd cry if Bret Hart died. Well, that might be a little bit different. He said, Mr. C No Color is racist as Hogan was. That's why I can't with the bias hate. Of course, Mr. All this off me too. I'm not crying for Hogan, obviously, but we should at least give it time. Jay Millie said Hunter Nokia got a Jim Crow nose. Jay Millie. Oh my god, y'all gonna get me canceled one day. Hogan is in wrestling hell getting. Oh my god, I can't even read this one. Let me move on. Fletcher says, Jay Millie, have you ever seen the clip of Triple H doing the monkey gesture and sent it to Leo and Tati? Fletcher said, "What the fuck, Black Star? I know, right?" That SmackDown is in Texas tomorrow, I believe. I don't think Texans will boo Hogan live. Well, where they at in Texas? Tomorrow. I know they did. They were in Houston for NXT. Oh, San Antonio, I think. I think it's San Antonio for tomorrow. I don't know. And let me just say something. Like when I moved to Texas, I wanted to move here because I thought financially it would be better for me, but I was a little bit worried about like maybe like the lack of diversity and maybe facing racism because y'all know it's a red state and I wasn't really sure and I haven't experienced that here myself and I don't see it anywhere else. So we'll see. We'll see. I think it is San Antonio tomorrow. Jay Billy said, I watched it live and changed the channel, Fletcher. Mr. Rollins said, Black Star is wild. He said, thank you. Thank y'all. I'm here all week. The Hogan memes are wild. Been seeing a good amount all day. He really rubs people the wrong way. Probably siding with Orange too. Well, that's too. Like for political reason, I don't care. I don't care who you vote for. I really don't care. I wouldn't be like judging him based off who he votes for. I don't think somebody voting for Trump makes them um racist or homophobic or anything like that. I don't necessarily think that's the case because you could be voting for him for any reason. To be honest, that has nothing to do with that. But I really, literally feel like this is due to things that he's actually done. That people don't like him. I don't even think it's really MAGA situation. Flutter said, I need Wardlow hurts people, Tati. I'd be okay with him in Hurt Syndicate. I would be okay, but I think he's very similar to Shelton and Bobby because they would all be powerhouses. It would be cool to see somebody like a high flyer in that group. Didn't y'all say y'all wanted AR Fox in there, or was it Ricochet? I think y'all said Ricochet. That would have been a good balance to the group because that's a different style. You know, AR Fox, Ricochet. They're different from Bobby and Shelton, and to have that would be cool. To have that would be cool. Personally, from what I've seen with the matches with Hurt Syndicate, I can't say that they mesh well with every single style. You know, y'all seen them in the ring with Jet Speed. Jet Speed is very different from Hurt Syndicate. Y'all seen them in the ring. No, Top Flight didn't get a chance to go against them. I don't. Did they? We seen them with what's the poor boy's name? Oh my god, Private Party. Can somebody give me an update on Private Party? Have they even been posting anything at all? Now that right there, I didn't like. Private Party been there since they opened the damn doors in AEW. They've had opportunities. Well, they haven't had too many opportunities for the tag titles, but they're one of those talents that's been there for a really long time. And as a really young group, it would have been so cool for them to have the tag titles. And that I really feel like, especially after the Young Bucks, that could have been a reset for the tag division with Private Party. However, they became champions at the wrong time because they end up signing, the Hurt Syndicate to come on over. And I don't think that AEW is going to waste any time by, not putting the titles on Shelton and Bobby quickly. And, there's one of those situations like, hey, we put the title on you at the wrong time. Y'all just going to keep it a little bit warm for the Hurt Syndicate. Was I mad that the Hurt Syndicate won? Not really. I think it was just timing. If it would have took a little bit of time for them to get the tag titles, I think it would have worked out a little bit better for Private Party because I really don't feel like they deserve to have lost the title that quickly. He said it's wild that Hogan died on the same day he got fired from the WWE. Oh, okay, that's what you're talking about from 10 years ago. Okay, I need Lashley and Hobbs, and Lashley versus Hobbs, and then Lashley versus Wardlow in the future. I'll take it. I love me a meat fest. I would actually like that. Lee Moriarty. Oh, Lee Moriarty would have been. Oh, okay. Now we cooking. Lee Moriarty hurt Syndicate. That would have been great. He very different from the other two, and I think he could have really worked well with them. And that would have been a really great balance. Lee Moriarty for sure. Fired from WWE for racist comment. Meanwhile, Triple H runs it now. I will say one thing about WWE: they are very it's favoritism. It really depends on who it is that said or did something. You know, what's God damn, what's his name that they let go? Oh my God, the black guy, NXT was it? No, 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 not Odyssey Jones. Odyssey Jones got into that situation with his wife or girlfriend, whatever, and it was proven that she lied, and but they still didn't call him back or anything. They let him go despite them proving whatever they was able to prove. Forgot the exact details, but it's a few months ago. However, Nikki Bella, homegirl, she I think she's divorced now or probably getting divorced. She had that dancing husband, whatever his name was. She was being abusive with him, and that's been proven. She has to pay him like alimony and child support and all that shit, whatever. And it's been proven that she was a aggressor in the situation and being abusive. But WWE don't care. They have that favoritism where two people can be in the same situation, but depending on who you are, they're willing to let it slide. And I don't. It's not fair, to be honest with you. It's not fair. If you want to be judging somebody based off of a situation like that, anyone who's also in that situation should fucking get the boot too. And Nikki Bella ain't even a great wrestler either. So I don't know. A lot of favoritism. They pick and choose who they excuse with their behaviors or whatever, and it's not right. It's not right, and it shouldn't have nothing to do with a fucking her being a woman or whatever. If he was proven not to be abusive or the aggressor in the situation, why is he still without a job? Right when he was just getting into New Day, this could have been huge for him in his career. It happened at I guess you could say, inconvenient time. And I can understand at first as a company being like, we want to wait and see what happens. So we're going to pull him off TV. But now that you've seen what happened, you decide that, nah, we're not going to put you back on. Something about it don't sit right. It don't sit right with me. So the favoritism, I'm not feeling it. Nikki Bella ain't got nothing to offer this company anyway. So I don't know. Hogan is bad, but Mr. C No Color Monkey Justice is a great dude. No, not with me. Dietrich Davis probably went in on Hogan. He did. I didn't see it, but he was on here earlier. So I'm gonna check that out after this. Blackstar said, I know what he done was messed up, but again, look at who's running stuff and tell me if he said no with the last time he disobeyed the boss and what happened to him. Look at the way Triple H booked Lashley as soon as Vince was gone. That's why that's why they gone. That's why they left. And that's another thing too. I am sure. I don't know if I didn't get a chance to see it, but I wonder what happened. Montez had his little interview with Chris Van Vliet. I don't know how that went. But a lot of wrestlers, especially wrestlers of color, they just they're just in limbo. They have been for a really long time. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear the race thing, but if you don't see any color, then why are these people who are equally talented or even more talented than other people who are getting the bigger opportunities, not getting them opportunities? I got tired of just fucking crying over Montez for the past couple of years. I'm just like, what is it that everyone else is seeing that no one else in the company is seeing? I really don't know. I really don't know. Wardlow faced Joe for the title. Before that, Cole had. Then telling Wardlow, okay, so after MJF got injured, because he didn't get his title shot with MJF, he got his title shot with Samoa Joe. Lovely, lovely. Okay, maybe I might remember that. Blackstar said, again, I understand that was mega racist, but again, look at who's running stuff back then. They all did dumb shit to make him laugh. Well, guess it worked out. Tati, the reveal happened at World's End. Okay. Side note, HBK had a black person in every segment for 60 minutes on Tuesday. That was impressive. Well, they go Mr. See No Color right there, I guess. It shouldn't matter about race or being a woman or whatever situation is. If they are talented, take the opportunity to push them or give them an opportunity to see what it is that they can do. I feel like there's a lot of people that are just there just to be there, and let's not even forget that there are people that are literally just there just so AEW don't get them, and that's just the truth. That's just the truth. So I don't know. Flutter said, I've never seen HBK doing monkey justice. Personally, I've never seen it. I could, I mean, if we look back at some of that DX shit, we might find something, to be honest with you. But Shawn Michaels, I don't know. I mean, I can't say I've seen it. HBK pushing all the black talent, then they will get to the main roster, and Triple H won't have nothing. Well, y'all seen that with a couple of the releases that we've had as of late. So where's the line? He said, Mr. C No Color won't book them. Look at our truth, all that shit to get him back. Oh my God. You know what? That is true. That is true. Ron Killings should have just went to the Indies and TNA. I mean, I don't know. I'm like wherever Ron would have went, I think would have been fine. TNA, I don't know how much better that would have worked with him because he's still in a way still working with WWE. But I do feel like he probably would have had a better chance with being up on the card in TNA. I could see that actually being a better opportunity for him rather than him being on the WWE roster right now. Look at a DX segment and come back and to me again, they all have skeleton in the closet. Yeah, like I said, I do feel like a lot of people have said or done something that is probably racist or whatever, um and they can learn from it. I really do feel like people can learn from shit that they have done, but if we're constantly seeing you in the same situation, what did you learn? I don't know. He said nobody's innocent. All I know is I'm not supporting a dude that makes monkey gestures towards black people. That's all. He said, of course, HBK has skeletons. While HBK gets a Hall of Fame career, Riddle gets canceled. Well, I mean, this HBK we talking about here in comparison to Matt Riddle. So, like I said, it's a favoritism. It's favoritism for sure. All of them have a lot to answer when the time comes. Hopefully, they have good answers. If Brett does what I expect Brett to do, Brett will win Hater of the Year. Hater of the Year. Without Hogan, NWO wouldn't have gotten that big or gotten that huge. Without NWO, there's no DX and all that BS. Hogan had good and bad shit attached to him. Not the no, I agree. I agree. He was a huge key player. A lot of the wrestlers you guys see literally in the ring right now was influenced by him. Y'all always saying y'all prayers and taking y'all vitamins and everything. So, I mean, he had a huge influence in the business as a whole. Absolutely. But like I said, influential people are still shitty people too. So, you know, it is what it is. So for people who are praising him for good things that they did, I don't know if y'all seen the Vince McMahon documentary. Bruce Pritchard was basically dick riding Vince McMahon in that documentary, and all because that when his wife was sick, Vince McMahon paid for all her treatment and all that stuff. And if it wasn't for that, his wife would have passed away. I can understand. In a way, I see the biasness. This man bought you to keep your wife alive, and in return, you have ignored all the bullshit that he has done in the company. which includes the sexual assault, the racism, and all this bullshit, extortion, and everything, because he kept your wife alive for you. Money talks. It does. They have nothing for Ron Killings. It's sad. Would have been cool to see this gimmick in AEW. They kept him just to make sure he don't go over there. They saw the backlash and just thought, well, you know what? Let's just keep him just to do it. They'll shut up, and y'all did shut up, didn't y'all? They got him back. They got him back. I bet Becky looks stupid standing Hogan colors this past a few weeks when Hogan dies. Mr. All These Off, imagine Ron Killings in TNA with managing Doris 0121. Hey, that song was in my head like all week. I was like, what the fuck? I couldn't get it out of my head. Very catchy. Very catchy. What that's something that helps if you are a wrestler. If you can come up with a slogan, a song, or something that is catchy, that will help you a lot. And he's not bad. He really does remind me of R Truth in the ring. I think I see the influences in his matches for sure. He said, okay, Hogan, who said the N word multiple times, kicked a black woman from promoting her his beer parade. Oh, the beer company thing. Yeah, yeah. He said Black Star clearly has selective racism. Didn't Hogan challenge Kamala to a fight? He did. He did. Ross is here. He said, I most definitely will not be watching Raw or SmackDown. Well, there you go. There you go. Hogan is the bad one. The others doing shit are okay. Okay, Backstar. He said, I can't do that. Those are all the same person. Hogan and Terry are the same. I understand celebrating the wrestler again. I understand, but you can't tell the story without talking about the race. Well, that is true. A lot of times, people that's what they do. They separate the character versus the person. Um, that can be difficult because people don't necessarily look at Hulk Hogan other than just him as Hulk Hogan. So they don't see a character. They literally see that this is a person 24/7 for like how many years that he lived. And to be honest, that can literally be two different things, you know? So it can be hard for people to separate the two, but, you know, and not getting a pass from me. So I'm not defending Hogan Black Star. I'm saying you're hating on him for being that, but supporting Triple H when he was just like that or worse. There's stuff in Vince era we won't ever know. That is for sure. That is for sure. I'm sure there's all said. Here's one thing I will respect about Hogan. He turned heel quicker quicker than Cena and helped jumpstart aspects of the Attitude Era. Cena waited too late to pad his pockets. His heel run is doo doo. Well, that is true. I honestly, he didn't even need to be heel. It's too late. It's too late. Mm, mm. Just look at Snooker cover up. Dude murdered his wife, and Vince McMahon somehow managed to get him free just to wrestle the next day for his company. Well, I mean, we all know about that. We all know about that. The and we only really found out that Snooker stuff because Jacob Fatu father somehow didn't know what he was doing at the Dark Side of the Ring episode and told that he was not supposed to. He said I could imagine the shit that was happening in that company in the 80s and 90s. Absolutely. Ron said opinion on Michael Oku winning AEW. Well, which AEW title? If it's like TNT, no, well, not even TNT. No, hold on. No, no, no. If okay, maybe if he was Ring of Honor because he's been on there for the past few weeks. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I would not an AEW title at this point. No, no, definitely not. Let's see. There's a senator who didn't celebrate Martin Luther King died in America. He had cancer and knew he was going to die when Obamacare was on its deathbed, and he saved it, and he died in peace because of those people. Ross said, "I hope so. If he drops that title, I'm pretty confident he is signing with a." Well, we said that like a year ago. and he's still a Rev Pro. We'll see. We'll see. I think Oku could possibly get that Ring of Honor TV title when AEW goes to UK, or even when Ring of Honor Pure. Well, the Pure title, I'm gonna say no. Maybe the TV title. I would be a little bit more open to TV title over the Pure title. I would like to see more of Lee Moriarty with that title. Blackford said he offended, forgave him instead of hating on him. Hogan never did enough for people to forgive him, so he died in pain instead of in peace. Well, he probably did. He was feuding with his ex-wife. The daughter hasn't forgiven him and everything. I mean, there's a lot of things going on with him. A lot of things. I don't know how he passed away or whatever. Hopefully, if anything, if it brings closure to the family, that whatever amends that they had to make, that they did that. I don't know. Oku gotta get the title if he's in Ring of Honor. He's better not be a jobber. Well, he's actually lost some matches these past few weeks, so not in a jobber type way. Like, I don't see like losing to Jay Lethal as in a jobber thing. Like, who wouldn't want to be in the ring with Jay Lethal? But having him coming out there with a Rev Pro title, and I don't know if that necessarily helps him, because now you're looking at Michael, who has the title, and you're like, oh, he's a champion somewhere. If you're not watching Red Pro, then you don't know. But you see him with a title, and you know he's a big deal, but he's not winning. I wish he would take more wins within Ring of Honor, at least to show those who are watching who are not familiar with him that he's a big deal. I think he's shown that he's really great in the ring within Ring of Honor, but more could have happened. Did anything happen on TNA? Oh, I didn't even see. I Are they still on YouTube? I'm not sure. I think they're doing like their shows on YouTube now. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. Flutter said we hurt people. Is Hogan amateur wrestling promotion done now that he's passed? And what happens to his bar? If he has other people that were partners with him, then it's staying. You know. Um, I would assume that he didn't just own those things on his own. I'm pretty sure someone else's name was on there. Somebody else's name had to have been on there, then they'll continue. Fletcher said, where's King Leo? I don't know. I don't know. He was on the chat. Mr. Olizov, beer dead, but wrestling promotion, as long as Bischoff finds someone, should be good. Bischoff is on there? Oh, I didn't know that. Scissor Chief with Timu Reigns and Lee. Well, hey, look, y'all not gonna do that to my boys. Gates of Agony, don't do it. Ron said Private Party are WWE. But if that happened, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, if they were to go, I wouldn't be putting them in the main roster. NXT, I think it would really work out for them. It really would. Even TNA, I think it would work out. Well, you know what? Y'all got the Dudleys and the Hardys doing shit over there, so I don't know about them going to TNA. But Private Party NXT would also be pretty good for them. As soon as their contract ends, they are WWE bound, as the rumors say. Oh, I don't do rumors, baby. I'm a watch and see type of girl. They replaced Hogan with Kurt Angle on that promotion. Did they really? What's going on? WWE is raggedy enough to keep showing their beer commercial. Well, but the beer thing hasn't been around that long. They'll finish sell whatever they got left, and move on and move on. Did TNA or ROH do anything for Hogan? Well, ROH was filmed. If it wasn't this week, then it was filmed last week. I didn't see anything about AEW, the company, posting anything about Hogan. TNA, what's his name? Carlos, the president over there. I forgot his name. Carlos, whatever, Silva, whatever his name is. He posted something. He posted something about Hulk Hogan. Other than that, WWE posted, and some wrestlers posted either positive or negative things. So if you want to see that, you're gonna have to go on X to see how they don't blew up the app today with that whole thing. TNA made a post on Instagram. I haven't watched their show tonight, so I don't know. Well, especially in situations like this, if they were already taped, then they may not have a situation where they can be able to add that on. So maybe you might see that the following week with their next show. So we'll see. What about Blake Christian? It's time. Oh, Blake, that's my boy, Blake. Now, like, I don't know if Blake is still with GCW. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't know, but y'all been seeing him consistently on AEW, and haven't had any graphics up yet for Blake. But I love Blake, I do. I can see him with the TV title for sure, definitely for sure. So he's still on Ring of Honor as well. I would like that. I would like that. And when they started with Ring of Honor with Tony Khan, Blake was consistently on, and then for a while we didn't see him. He was like heavily doing GCW stuff, but he's here now. He said, "I saw Odyssey Jones tweet. Hey, the favoritism, the favoritism. Blake Christian and Lee Johnson are tagging again. Yeah, I like them, but I feel like they can do a little bit more as a team. So we'll see where it goes." Blaster said, "I was thinking the same thing. He deserves some type of title, but it will be a while." Tia said, "Right, Tati, about favoritism, WWE? Absolutely." Valerian Hendricks is here, said, "New here, keep up the great work and review." Thank you. I do appreciate that. Y'all, I literally be doing these live streams and then get off on here, maybe get a little snack and do a review for y'all. Who else is doing that? Y'all know anybody else is doing that? Let's see. Ron said, "If someone's a needle mover, you get special treatment." Happen. Who we call a needle mover? Not Nikki Bella. Uh-uh. He said, "Guess who was on a last Chris Van Vliet?" Yeah, Montez, right? He's the last one. I think that was posted today or maybe yesterday. That I'm gonna check out. I don't necessarily think he's gonna say anything against the company, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm gonna watch it and see what he says, because this is a guy who should have held a couple of mid card titles by now, I think. And Angelo, no shade, we love you too, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. WWE go that step further to protect talent, though. How? I mean, who are we protecting? Like in a way. Okay, if we go back to the RC Jones and Nikki Bella thing, it what is Nikki doing that they couldn't just been like, okay, Odyssey Jones. I don't know if he can actually sue about that. I don't know, but like I can understand they say, hey, we're gonna take you off the show because this is bringing bad publicity to us. That I understand, but once the information come out that he wasn't part of whatever, whatever, then why can't he be back on TV? Maybe a lot of time has passed and putting him back with New Day or whatever wasn't gonna work out. Maybe they would have tried something else with him, but why do it like that? But then Nikki Bella, whose divorce and everything is actively happening, y'all literally bringing her out here for what? For what? Y'all know she's the aggressor in the situation, and it's been proven. So you're excusing that because of what? I don't know. He said, Tia said, when I was watching Nikki would pop on the screen, I would, let me tell you something. The Bellas have never done it for me. And I can't believe Brie is literally married to one of the best wrestlers in the world. She must be really good to him. Hopefully she is good to our goat. Fletcher said, Tati, did you see Bischoff with Ariel? I mean, I saw the clips you sent me. I didn't see the whole thing. I don't know what's going on. Bischoff, you know what? I don't know. I have no clue what's going on with this guy. TNA about to become number two company. No, they're not. No, they're not. I don't even think that they're actually close at all. Like TKO can dump the money on TNA if they wanted to, and they still won't be able to catch up with AEW. And then by that point, TKO is gonna be like, we're pulling the plug on TNA, and we're gonna take whatever it is that we want and put it on NXT or on the main roster, and just be done with it. Number two is not happening. Fletcher said, I'm still wondering why Nikki Bella is here, though. I thought we had a whole evolution angle with AJ Lee and stuff to end the Divas era. I'm starting to agree with Gilberto, and the whole Diva era is back. I I don't know if I would say that. I do think that she's probably bored. She got paid child support and everything. She got to make that money somehow. And personally, I don't think she's a great wrestler. Do I feel like she's probably influenced some girls? Sure, she probably has, and I can't say who, but that probably happened. But was it enough to for somebody to be in the Hall of Fame and all this shit, like to be a legend? Hell no, definitely not. I don't see it at all. Triple H is using NXT as a means to push black talent, so he so he doesn't have to do it on the main roster. Oh my god. I never really thought about it, but I wonder if Triple H have like no control within NXT and is literally, hey Sean, this is all you type of thing, Because I feel like if Triple H had a good amount of control, that the show wouldn't be going the way it is, to be honest with you. So I'm not sure how much control he has over there. It does kind of feel like Uncle Sean is just left to do what he wants to do. And I think it's working. I think it's working. Um where am I? Fletcher says, "Oh, I just saw some article about it, Mr. Olizab. I can't sit for half an hour to hear Bischoff on tribalistic platform that he has WWE talent on, TNA talent, legends, free agents, but no AEW." Yeah, I agree. I agree. Fletcher said Tati's preaching. Yes. Mm-hmm. He said, "Damn, we got Dustin versus." That's what I'm saying. They just announced that. I don't remember hearing them say this until literally just now on Ring of Honor that Dustin's going to be going against Lee Moriarty for the TNT title. Why are we doing that? I, I don't know. For a moment, I thought Dustin was covering for Moriarty title too. Hey, hell no! There's just no way, no way, no thank you. Moving like Dustin's got creative control and Ring of Honor. Well, I wouldn't say all that. They've barely done anything. Dustin hasn't really done anything, and with him with a TNT title, at least I'm hoping that he will. I don't know if anybody cares, but if Dustin would drop the Ring of Honor titles that he has, I don't think that makes him look like a bad champion. He could just focus on just being a TNT champion because he wasn't doing anything with the other titles anyway. Dice is here. He said, "Oh, people still watching Ring of Honor? Crazy." Well, yeah, yeah, it is. That's exactly what's happening. Tony Khan stated on his last interview after All In that he has the final word in creative. Yeah, he say that all the time. Matter of fact, one of the things I think kind of killed Ring of Honor a little bit was there was a point where they had Stoltz as general manager. Jerry Lynn, I don't know if he was general manager, but he was doing something. And they announced all that stuff for Ring of Honor, whatever. I think that was like early last year. And people was like, oh, okay, so Tony Khan could just kind of get away a little bit and let these people do whatever they want to do. But then, even though that they were the ones who were having that leadership role on the show, Tony Khan kept coming on saying, "Oh, well, you know what? They're here, the general manager, but the final word is mine." I was like, Tony, get the fuck out of here. Let them do their thing. I don't know why he was doing that, and I think that played a huge role in terms of what made the show not be as interesting as they could have been. I don't know. I don't know. I still think that there is a chance somehow, some way they can fix it, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. TK got a debut Gallus in Scotland. No, but hold on. They said we were full. I wouldn't mind like for an appearance though. And plus, we don't really have trios like that. I wouldn't be mad. Gerard is here. He said, "Hello, Tati. Hello, chat. Just checking in and dropping my like. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that." Ross says the AEW title. Now we play. I don't know. I don't know. Dice said that race is dying. Meh. Oku and Amira have just gotten their visas ready to go. Okay. I'm playing, by the way, he's not gonna win a title in AEW. I'm from London and a big Rev Pro fan. He's huge deal in England. Yes, huge deal. I know people do want him in AEW. Um, I I personally don't mind. We have a lot of people in AEW and Ring of Honor. I just want to see them book people better before we start bringing other people in. That's the problem because a lot of times they bring in the new people, and it's like, oh, look, a new toy. Let's see what we can do about that, and we won't play with the others anymore. And it does feel like that for a lot of people. Josh is here. He said Tati does a great job putting out content. I remember when Hogan had a injury storyline when I was a kid. I wrote him a get well, and a WWF sent me a Hogan picture and a thank you. I was a dumb kid. Holy shit, y'all was doing all that. Well, Josh, thank you. I do appreciate your comment. I've actually never done anything like that. I know stuff like that was big to do in the 80s and early 90s. I don't even know if like WWF was doing stuff like that, at least in the late 90s, like mid to late 90s. I'm not sure, but that is very interesting. Yeah, at least you got a little picture and something back. See, Flu is in the house. Hello, how are you? Fletcher said Tati acting like there's a difference if private jobbers signed to TNA or NXT. Wait, hold on. There's no difference. Um, but at least they'll be under Shawn Michaels, though. I think that would be a better chance for them in NXT. To be honest with you, now there's a chance that they would have them probably going over to TNA. But like I said, they literally got the Dudley. Well, Bully Ray and them pretty much talking about one more time and all this shit. We don't want to see that. Well, I don't. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but we could be using an opportunity to do something else. So I don't know. Ron said, "Hell no, Nikki ain't no needable." Absolutely not. I've never felt like that. I personally, especially as a woman, I never got into the Bellas. I did actually like the Total Divas show that they had, not necessarily because of them, but it was cool to see the girls in like a reality show type setting, and I did like that. And I will say this, that show helped bring a lot of girls who don't typically watch wrestling to watch wrestling. So in that aspect, they helped in that. But I'm a pro wrestling fan. I am more interested in what you got to offer in the ring, and I never saw it with the Bellas. Sorry, I never saw it. Never saw it. If WWE is paying LOL this wrestling content creators, it's time for TK to start paying our girl Tati for covering weekly their product. Absolutely, absolutely. I get messages almost every day. I watch AEW because of you. I watch New Japan because of you. I watch Ring of Honor because of you. I literally get that. And it's so interesting. And that's all I really want, to be honest with you. Now, Tony Khan, you can cut a sister a check. I'll be cool with that. However, and sometimes it takes to get that influence from someone else to kind of encourage other people to try to watch pro wrestling. That's all I care about doing, just getting people to watch wrestling. Let's see. Terrence said Hulk Hogan passed away today. He did. He did. Ross said, I wasn't even referencing Odyssey and Nikki. Who are you talking about? I mean, if I really sit here and think about it, there's a lot of situations in terms of the company being biased over people being in the same situation. You know, um, I'm thinking something happened with Randy before. Randy and Randy has gotten a lot of pass from this damn company. But then again, it's Randy Orton though. Like that man has made that company money, and especially coming from a wrestling family as well. These people, they have a lot of privilege. They really do. A lot of wrestlers have these privileges. What makes it okay for fucking Jacob Fatu to say the N word, but y'all literally firing Hogan for saying the same thing? You know what I mean? Like they pick and choose what they want to do. whenever they want to do it. So it's a lot of biasness going on. Got Trap Buddha in the house. And hey Tati, hello, how are you? Dicey said, not like TK is a zillion times better. No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't mind if TK handed ROH to Scott. Well, Scott got a Maple Leaf. I don't think Scott could do both Maple Leaf and Ring of Honor. To be honest with you, um, I think that's what people probably wanted at first. After they let him go from TNA, but he had other plans. So we'll see where it's going. When is AEW doing their weekly shows in UK, Windsor? Going to be a huge pop. Oh, y'all talking about for the week that they go to Forbidden Door? I think. Wait, they're not in the UK. They're in Scotland, right? Well, UK, I think, is Forbidden Door, and I think Scotland is the Dynamite Collision taping. They can actually be there for like 2 weeks. They will do just fine financially being in the UK 2 weeks. Like they wouldn't even have to worry about that. People will come to the show. I would have taken advantage of being there for more than a week for sure. AEW will be just fine. Scott running things in MLP. Yes, he is. I said, bro, they only doing Dynamite and Collision in Scotland. Well, like I said, if they were able to do at 2 weeks, they man, like you, how do y'all see them over here in Chicago for these 3 weeks? I think they're gonna do another 3 weeks in Philly. They could have did that in UK, and it would have been just fine. He said, I was hoping for a London Dynamite. That is insane. That is insane. I do think that they should take a little bit more seriously in terms of doing more shows overseas. UK market is insane when it comes to wrestling. Like they will always show up regardless of the promotion that's over there. So they would be successful if they were to be in the UK, various places in the UK for a couple of weeks. That's kind of crazy that they wouldn't do a Dynamite in London. Wherever they would have been in London, it would have been sold out for sure. Pleasure said, "A the last big deal from England was Bruv Osprey. So if Oku is half of what Osprey is, he will do great in AEW. I agree. TK should make more shows in the UK since he has a football team over there with the actual football stadium, at least for the energy of the UK crowd. American crowds sometimes get disgusting. Yet the American crowd, we're so used to having wrestling around that they don't appreciate it as much as these other international markets that don't get wrestling or these bigger promotions over there as often. We got Ski Mask Citizen in the house. Hello, how are you? Triple H probably pushing strings now to get Leon Slater on that side. Oh Lord. Well, we'll see. Maybe that's why WWE gave Leon Slater the phenomenal AJ Styles last weekend. Dice said Preach Fletcher. Triple H is classically racist. I have no idea why he's not coming over here more, to be honest. I agree. Do you think AW will go to Saudi? Nah. Nah. Whatever Saudi is doing with WWE or TKO, whatever, there's a bigger picture that we're not seeing right now. I really do feel like there is. And I think that they're going to definitely focus on WWE and whatever it is that they got going in the future with that. We're gonna definitely revisit that in some time, whatever Saudi's doing with them. But AEW, no. Another place where there's a good market for wrestling, real talk, India. India. Now look, India is a huge country. I don't know where on a map we would actually go, but India has a huge market when it comes to wrestling. WWE even knows this. They fuck it up every single time they go over there. AEW can probably give it a chance. That's what I'm saying. Like AEW, they have TV deals all over the world. If you are paying attention to the numbers of where are people watching your product the most, this is where you should be trying to have these shows. Start off at a small venue and move your way there. Even if you lose a little bit of money doing this, you gotta build that rapport with going to these certain places. So if they just sitting and not going anywhere, you'll never know how big of a market you can have, especially worldwide. They're definitely not taking the best measures in terms of marketing. I think their marketing sucks. I think I promoted All In more than they did this year, to be honest with you. I didn't really start seeing anything about All In until literally about a week or maybe less than 2 weeks before All in Texas. I live in Texas. They had announced All In since last year, like around August or whatever for Texas. Never saw a billboard, never saw a commercial on TV of All In, never saw a newspaper, never saw nothing with All In. And I live a few hours away from Dallas, Arlington. Every time I went to Arlington several times in the past year, never saw a damn thing about All In. If they could have literally filled up, they could have sold out that arena at the other day at All In, but they did not take the measures that they should have taken to promote the show. I don't the people in that team fired them. Fire them. Whoever's over there, fire them in the marketing team. We gotta do better. We gotta do better. Let's see. Tia said, Tony, we know you watching. Give Tati what she wants. Yes, recurring checks. Okay, and I'm pretty sure they'll clear. I would appreciate that. Tati, do you think we get Pack? Oh my. Now Pack, we actually haven't got no updates on Pat. I think he had a knee injury. Was it knee? Whatever it was, he had that match with Swerve. Something happened. He landed kind of funny on his leg, but he finished the match in like a few seconds later, and then the doctors tend to him, and we haven't seen him since. It would be cool. Like people would lose their shit if Pat came out. Well, you know what? Yeah, yeah, they would, but I don't know. The Death Rider is still going on, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that injury. Flutter said, Tia, they're watching for sure. When AEW showed up on the chat, we were walling. Yes, that was very interesting. Why do you think they let Scott D'Amore go from TNA? He probably understood that TNA was about to become food for WWE developmental brand and said that doesn't work for me, brother. That's exactly what happened. They knew what was up. Scott wasn't gonna be down with it. Maybe he had already knew something and probably spoke up. And that's the thing, because when before they signed a deal or whatever they were going to do with TKO, I'm pretty sure Scott knew something. He probably spoke up, and it was like, oh no, he's gonna be a problem. He gonna be a problem, and we gonna show him the door right now. So I mean, I thought he was doing a great job with TNA. And when you're going to make these type of deals, you already know what you want to do with the company. We know TNA. I'm giving it a year and a half, and we'll talk about what TNA used to be very soon. They knew that they wasn't going to want Scott over there, so they showed him the door, and they got exactly who they want over there. They got exactly who they want over there, and everything's gonna fall exactly how they want it to work. We'll see. Daisy said he trying to do that purposefully. He said he had a 10 penis, but when asked about it, admitted he doesn't have it. That he was speaking on Hogan, not Terry. Oh, what the fuck? Hell no. Ski Man said, I'm good. How about you? I see you're getting our stream on. Yes, I've been. So, a lot of times I'm just listening to streams and not necessarily on the chat. But that last stream from Monday night on Dietrich's channel was crazy, especially with that racist lady, Kathy, who came on over there. And this is another thing, too. When we're talking about the Hogan thing, it's people like me, like black creators who literally have had, y'all typically don't see this because we be having, the chat generals, deleting comments quickly. I've gotten literally people calling me a monkey, black bitch, and things like that on the chat. Typically we get rid of the comments quickly. But I constantly see this with other black creators, which is disheartening. They're really great creators, whether they're black or not, and all you see are just black bitches and monkeys on your screen. We get this all the time, literally all the time, and I really, I just don't understand. I don't understand. Like at this point, like what the fuck are we doing? When people are like, "Oh, it's 2025, nobody's racist." Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And I get it all the time. If it's not happening on the chat, somebody is going to literally write me a message, "Oh, you black bitch, you this or whatever, you nigger, whatever." We get this. We really do. And all we're doing is literally sitting here talking about wrestling. If I sit here and say something about a wrestler that you support and I'm necessarily not a fan about, because here I'm really honest about everything in terms of wrestling. Even if it's somebody I like, if I see something that I don't like them doing or don't like how they're being booked or whatever, I'll speak up about it. That doesn't mean I don't like them. But people literally, I'm literally getting threatened by grown ass men over me saying that Mercedes isn't defending the titles that she has enough. Grown men are threatening to hurt me over that. I don't get it. I don't get it. So if I don't have to deal with the racist people in the comments or in my DMs, then there's the ones who are literally threatening to hurt me because I'm speaking out against their favorite wrestlers. Like, grow a set of balls. I don't get it. I don't get it. This is something that we face all the time. All the time. A lot of great creators out there, especially a lot of black creators. And a lot of times, as black content creators, we heavily rely on having a black audience because those are typically the people that will stick up for us and will stick with us. And people of other races, if they are racist, unfortunately, will react this way if we say something they don't like. If I say something you don't like, you don't have to come for my looks. You don't have to come for my race. You don't have to come for anything. You don't have to do any of that. Like there's a way that you can show you don't like what I'm saying without having to get to that point. But apparently, people are not smart enough to be able to put their emotions out there in a way without having to get into the whole race thing. I really just I kind of feel numb to it, and I probably shouldn't. But this is just a thing. Y'all not gonna stop me from doing what I'm doing. Y'all say whatever you want. You call me whatever you want. I'm gonna be here for the next stream. Watch it or don't. Flutter said, Tati, do you know who's going to win Royal Rumble? Oh, Sami Zayn? I know they ain't. If they do that, that would be insane. Honestly, I don't think that's a good idea. When he should have won the Rumble, you know what? Let me not. Let me not. Dice said his amateur wrestling thing. Ski Man said, for real? What? Ross says all in back at Wembley next year, 80,000. No, well, actually, I heard the setup was that they might do is for like 50. I don't think they're going for that many, and I don't know why, but I think it's a less number. I don't know if they're gonna hit that 80, but if they promote the fuck out of all in, maybe, maybe. Photo said Tati that's wild. Oh yeah, absolutely. We get it all the time. It's insane. If we gonna have a discussion, if you don't agree with what I'm saying, like I'll tell you all the time, I'll drop you a link. Come on screen with or without your camera, and let's talk about it. Like we can literally be adults and just talk about wrestling. Like I don't have to be a nigger for fucking not agreeing with your take on wrestling. If that's what you think is gonna hurt my feelings, then call me whatever you want. Ski Man says, shake my head, nah. F those losers. Keep grinding, girl. People are stuck in 1930. Yeah, that's how it is. Incel vibes, absolutely. Racism didn't go anywhere. It's still alive and kicking. And that's the thing too. When you are on a platform like this where you don't have to show your face, it's easier for these people to act like their true selves. And this is why when people are like, why are you celebrating the whole Hogan thing? Like I said, I'm not celebrating anything, but I'm not saying anything about these people who are obviously upset about all the racist thing that Hogan has done, because we face this on a daily basis. I personally don't know a single black person who's never faced racism, whether they knew it or not. That's just how it is. So I understand why people are upset, but I'm not celebrating anything in terms of somebody dying. It doesn't affect me anyway. TK marketed All in London very well the last couple of years. Posted, yeah, he did. For All in Texas, a week ago they started putting like I don't know what you call it. Like they wrap the trains with the All in promotional stuff. A week ago. Where was this all year? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. They took too long to do it. Way too long. Never in this whole year did I see an all in commercial on TV. And I live in Texas, which is crazy. Prediction for Forbidden Door main event: William versus Zack Sabre Jr. My ovaries are ready. Now I'm it. This is a possibility because, like William said, he hurt, but I feel like he's gonna make it. Now, Zack Sabre Jr., depending on what happens in the G1, if he doesn't have any injuries, I can still see him making it to Forbidden Door. Why not have two UK dudes go at it at Forbidden Door main event? I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. We'll just see how Zach does with the rest of the tournament. We got until August 17th until it's over. So who knows what can happen from here? It would have been lovely to have Gabe Kidd on there. Gabe, baby, we're praying. He's injured. I don't even know if he's going to be able to finish the tournament. So I don't know if Gabe will be at Forbidden Door. I would love to see him on there though. I would love that. Ski Man said, "How about they argue with facts and stats like adults?" Absolutely, absolutely. You don't agree with me? Let's debate. Let's throw out the facts and throw out the numbers. We don't have to get nasty with it. FTR new tag champs at Forbidden Door. I need to see what other teams are in the tournament first before we get to that point. I don't know. I don't know about all that. Windsor dethroning Athena in the UK, but they have a match this weekend on Collision, right? For the Ring of Honor title. I don't know. I don't see her winning that this weekend. Was it tape or is it live for this weekend? Um, I don't know. It's a no for me. Being an injury is serious. Does she need to vacate the title? They can't do it because she's already interim. So imagine an interim needing an interim. They're not doing it. They're not doing it. And I was saying, like, when Red Velvet got injured, I was like, okay, Red Velvet is injured. Don't do the interim thing. What they should focus on was the Ring of Honor Women's Pure tournament that they've been saying that they were going to do since February. They should have focused on that because at that point we kind of was gonna sort of forget about the women's TV title. They could have went that route, but instead they did the interim. They had Mina win the interim title and then put her at All In the next day, and she breaks her hand at All In the next day. I don't know. I don't know. Osprey versus Zach for the title. Yeah, you know what? I've thought about that. I mean, I feel like people would think it wouldn't make sense for Zach not to put the title on the line. I totally understand that. Um, I think it could go either way, with or without the title. But if the title's on the line, William wouldn't win because William, he doesn't seem to have any interest on going back to New Japan. He doesn't seem to have any interest in that. So I wouldn't see him win, but the matchup would be amazing. So, people in the UK gonna get their money's worth for sure with that as the main event. If they had announced Zack Sabre Jr. to go against Will Ospreay at UK for Forbidden Door, whatever tickets they got left will be gone that same day. Am I lying? So we'll see if it goes that route. I don't know. I can't see either Zack Sabre Jr. or Ospreay losing at London. I know when you think of that, it is hard to say. It is hard to say, but who would you put them with then? If they wouldn't go against each other, here's the thing: who would Osprey go against to put him in a main event. If not, the Zack Sabre Jr. Forget the fact that he's from the UK. If Zack had the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, and that would be the way to put him in the main event. So I don't know who you can throw in if you want to put Will Ospreay in the main event. Literally not putting even Hangman in the main event. So I don't know what other options we have in that case. So I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to be in the main event. They could still get away with just Zack being in the main event. He's still somebody from the UK. The UK will be good with that. But I would definitely put them two together for sure. I would. I would. Somebody got to take the L. No draws or anything because nobody's going to want that. But we'll see. Gabe Kid, we're still waiting. Gabe has he so last night was night 4 of the tournament. He forfeited that night, and the next night, which is tomorrow night, we'll get another update on Gabe. And I think like if Gabe can't come back tomorrow night, he's just gonna have to just throw the towel and just say, I cannot compete. He could not compete for the rest of the tournament if his injury is not that bad, and just save himself for Forbidden Door. He could save himself for Forbidden Door, take a little break. Then he has the global championship at New Japan. He could defend it against somebody at Forbidden Door if he takes the time off. If he doesn't, I don't see him making it to Forbidden Door. I don't see it. Robert Brown, see you in the chat. I was hoping for Gabe Kidd versus Kenny Omega. Oh, the rematch! Oh my god! You know what? That would be crazy. Gabe, yeah, like I was saying, Gabe have his title. If they were to do it, then they would put the title on the line, I would assume. I don't know if Kenny is up for, well, Kenny could lose. He won the last time. They could go again, and Kenny could lose, and Gabe could retain. But because of where Gabe is at with his injury right now, that match between Gabe and Kenny would not deliver like what they did at Wrestle Dynasty, to be honest with you. So I don't think I would go that route with Kenny and Gabe because of the injury. Drew McIntyre showing up to break the forbidden door. Y'all wish. Y'all wish. Takeshita versus Drew McIntyre. Oh, that would be interesting. I would like that. Takeshita, he's doing a good job in the G1 right now. I would like to see him win. It would be too because Takeshita is going to be in Japan all month. It's definitely not going to go with like what's his name? Oh no, never mind. Okada and Swerve might happen at Forbidden Door, which I kind of don't want. I kind of really want to see every match to be a AEW wrestler versus somebody else from another company. That's what I want to see at Forbidden Door. That's how it should be. That's how it should be, I think. Darby versus Moxley at Forbidden Door All Out. I would save it for All Out. We have to see what happens with Moxley and Hangman because I do kind of feel like Moxley will lose at next week on. I can't believe they're doing that on Dynamite. The rematch on Dynamite. I feel like Moxley will lose next week on Dynamite with Hangman, and I think he'll take a break. I really do. Like, what the hell do you do after that? You have your rematch, and there can't be any interference. And then what happens then? Moxley's just going to be just showing up for more after that? I don't think so. I think he'll stay away for a little bit. I think Death Riders will still be kicking. Baby Claudio as the leader of the group, and still having run-ins. Darby still having run-ins with whoever's around with the Death Riders, and that can lead into All Out. Which is when's All Out again? September. Okay, September. That's okay. I think September's okay. It really depends on how far they can stretch the story out. So if they keep Death Riders going even without Moxley, they can still keep Darby feuding with them, which will at some point get back to Moxley. Hangman and Moxley next week gonna cook. I believe that. I believe that. Claudio should be in a G1. Oh, that would be so nice. I would have loved that. I'm kind of surprised that he wasn't on. Not too many people on there representing AEW. The only one is Takeshita, I think. But Takeshita is signed with New Japan, so I mean, Claudio would have been great for a competition like that. Um, But because of everything that's going on with All In, y'all remember All In and Forbidden Door was switched this year. So what would have happened was it would have been Forbidden Door before All In, like how they've been doing it. I forgot what the situation was. Something about a concert, and they couldn't get the date that they wanted to get, so they end up putting All in Texas instead. I think that still was a good idea anyway. But I honestly feel like I think they were gonna make like a habit of doing All In and UK. To be honest with you, I feel like they might do that even after 2026. They this is why I said they need to open their international markets a hell of a lot more so they can see where they will be successful at, and it doesn't have to be like every year in the UK or whatever the situation is. Are we starting the angle of Yuta turning on Moms? His interaction with Hangman was interesting. Um, no, I think Hangman just felt bad for him. I think he just felt bad for him. Really, Yuden, when he turns on the Death Riders, all of y'all are suddenly gonna be fans of him. And really, Yuden, everybody is proof right here that I've been riding with you since day one. I never left your side, Wheeler, not one day. And I think that's gonna work out really well for him. And let me just say this: for even if you don't like Wheeler Yuta, Wheeler Yuta, even though he's getting his ass whooped by his own fucking people in his group, like he's literally worked with Danielson, Moxley, Claudio. Who can say that? Being a young guy working with some of the very best in this business, this is a huge opportunity for him. I think it's going to work out for him in the end at some point. Remember, he used to be with what's the name? Best Friends, which was Chris Statlander, Trent Beretta, Orange Cassidy. And I'm just gonna be honest, Orange Cassidy had that thing where AEW was favoring him a lot. So everybody within that best friend group kinda wasn't going nowhere being part of the group with him because she was the main focus of the group. So everybody pretty much went their own way. Trent got injured, unfortunately. Statlander is still feuding with Willow, I guess, until death. And then Willa Yuta, they did the best decision that they did for a long time with having him join BCC. You know, he's still part of Death Riders with these guys, but I mean that's a hell of an opportunity that a lot of wrestlers can't say that they've had. Forbidden Doors, Swerve Okada, Gabe Osprey, um, Hangman and Pac, and Kenny Zack Sabre Jr. I'm not sure about that, and I don't know who would use for Hangman either. Like I said, I really do want it to be a Forbidden Door situation. If they wanted to, not Hangman, if Moxley were to take a break, they can literally make Claudio the leader of the group, and then Claudio can have his opportunity to go for the world title, and have a feud as the leader of Death Riders or some shit, and possibly get an opportunity for the world title. I would love that. I would love to see that title on Claudio at some point. So I think they can go that route. But Forbidden Door, no, it's a no. It's a no. Let's see where we at. Hangman versus Pac would be wild. I would like that. There's a Death Rider angle. So the Death Rider angle with Osprey and Gabe Kidd, they have a lot more history. Um, Y'all just reminded me of something. Shota Umino, who is he hmm, he's like a protege of John Moxley. They work together. Unfortunately for him, when the Death Rider situation happened, he's typically been a babyface, and people turned on him just because of his affiliation with Moxley, even though the Death Riders had nothing to do with New Japan. And even till this day, this poor guy is really trying to shake that off. And I don't know if they could possibly put him in a match with somebody within the Death Riders. They could do that. He had a match with Claudio, was it last year, I think, or no, this year. He had a match with Claudio earlier this year. They can still play off that if they wanted to. If Shota wanted to really distance himself from the Um, from the Death Riders, they can definitely do that, and they should have did what I had recommended since last year, which would have been Shota to go against Wheeler Yuta. That should have been what happened because Moxley basically has Shota and Wheeler Yuta like with the puppet strings and everything. And it could have been the battle of the heart of John Moxley. I know it sounds stupid, but it would have worked. And if he, like I said, if he really wants people to like not look at him as affiliated with Moxley, because he still uses some of Moxley moves in his matches. He still uses the Death Rider and the Bulldog Choke and things like that that Moxley uses in his matches. If he stops all of that, that's one thing, then people would be like, okay, maybe he's not so affiliated with Moxley. And if he were to have a match with somebody, preferably Willa Yuta, at Forbidden Door, just to say, look, I'm not with the Death Riders no more. Leave me alone, and I'm gonna whoop Willa Yuta ass just to prove it. What some shit like that. I think that can work. That's a matchup that they could do. At Forbidden Door, they could do that. I don't think anybody's necessarily thinking like me, but that is definitely an opportunity they can go for. That would actually work out well for actually both these guys in terms of a story. Bandito versus Zack Sabre Jr. Fletcher. I'm not like saying that that wouldn't be a good match or anything, but we can come up with better things at Forbidden Door. No, no, we're good. We're good. Um, C Fluid said Hogan passed over. Yeah. Showed winning G1. Well, you know what? I'm gonna say no. Um, I think he had 4 points. He has 4 points, and he beat the most important person in the tournament, which is a person with the IWGP World Championship, which is another good thing for him too, because at Wrestle Kingdom, was it Wrestle Kingdom? Was it Wrestle Dynasty? Damn, I'm so mixing up the pay per views. He had his match earlier this year. It was Wrestle Kingdom with Zack Sabre Jr. for the title, and he couldn't get the job done. And he had been throughout the year just like, I'm gonna get my hands back on Zack. I'm gonna get my hands on him, and I'm gonna get that title. And he was able to beat Zack yesterday, but no title on the line. So what's going to happen is he's going to get his opportunity to have a title shot, and possibly, well, I'm not going to say possibly because I don't see him winning, but you never know what can happen. So him winning G1 is a no for me. It's a no for me. With Yuta supposedly getting away from Death Riders, they can bring Shota to kick out. Well, that will work too. They can go that route too. We about to have Mommy Statlander and Dirty Yuta. Well, that's another thing too. Hope to see Pac back for Forbidden Door. I know. Well, I haven't heard not one update on Pac. Bandito versus Pac. Hey, I mean, if Pac would have won the title, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. Not to have Jay White on Forbidden. Oh my God. Hold on now. We also haven't had an update on Jay White. Did he break his hand or his wrist? God damn, it feel like everybody we would love to be on that pay per view is injured. Not sounding good right now. Jay White, haven't had any updates on that, so I don't know if he'll make it either. Oh, well, Robert got a good point. Blood and guts. When is that happening? When is that happening? Interesting. Don't they typically do that during the summer? Learning Tree versus Zack Sabre Jr. You know what, Fletcher? I'm wrapping this up. Let me tell you something. We haven't seen Homeboy in a while, and I am so good with that. I'm so good with that. Whoever it is that's keeping Fozzy busy, thank you. Thank you on behalf of the entire wrestling community. Thank you. Goldberg versus Wardlow. Fletcher, hell no. That sounds like Triple H booking, brother. Absolutely, absolutely. To be honest with you, Goldberg, he not. I know he not happy about how things went with his match with Gunther. I mean, I get it, but he has nothing left to give. And what is he going to do with somebody like Wardlow or literally anyone else in the ring? Somebody got to literally be carrying him in a match. And At this point, what can we do? I think what was his last match before the match with Gunther? Maybe he should have left it at that. I don't know. It didn't work out how he wanted to, and I'm hoping he's not going to look for another opportunity to really end it exactly how he wanted to. Hopefully not. Hook versus Zack Sabre Jr. Hell no. Hook can't even wrestle. Zach will have that bitch tapping in less than 30 seconds, and I know it. I'm literally willing to bet on it. In 30 seconds, Hook will be tapping out or passed out somewhere for sure. I don't know. I don't know. It's a no for me. They said Hook was filming a movie or something. Um, where do you throw him in at this point? You know, he was in the last time we saw him, he threw up all over the ring, and he didn't come back, and Hobbs joined the ops and he won the title with Shibata and Joe. Like, what can we do with him at this point? Let's be real. He had an undefeated streak for a while. I forgot how long it was. um and was it Jack Perry that beat him or something like that, something of that nature. And he doesn't have a great career. He doesn't have a great career. He didn't really have a sanctioned title. He was walking around with the FTW thing, and that was pretty much it. He had squash matches with nobody that was picking up from the side of the road. And there's nothing I can say about Hook being an AEW that would work. This is what I kept saying. If y'all take Hook and take him to New Japan, they either gonna whip him in shape and make him a good wrestler, or Hook is gonna realize that this wrestling shit ain't for me. And that's the truth. That's just the truth. He's not great at all. Even Nick Wayne is way better, a million times better than what's his name? Hook. Then Hook, baby, no shade or whatever. You need the experience. This is one of those situations when they say like Nepo baby or whatever. Like Taz put in the work to get to where he was at, and where the fuck was Hook wrestling at before AEW? Does anybody know? Have you ever seen Hook at an indie show or another promotion? Personally, I have never heard of it, never seen it. And he goes over to AEW, and they put him in this favorable position to be like this kind of undefeated lightweight or some shit. And I can't tell you a good match that I've seen from Hook. If you've seen a good match from her, I'll wait for you to put it on the chat. I really haven't. That's what I was saying. Having that opportunity to this is why I like when AEW wrestlers can literally be wrestling at an indie show or another promotion or whatever. That's a good thing because if they're not on TV or whatever situation is, they'll be able to continue to work on themselves elsewhere. And I have never seen him anywhere else. And he can benefit if he went to wrestle somewhere else. I'm not saying leave AW. I'm just saying to get that experience. And he's not gonna improve this way. Jack Perry, baby, your guess is good as mine. I have no clue what's happened with him. Um, like a month ago, I saw a picture of him and Anna Jay together, like some movie premiere or whatever. That was it. He looked okay. I don't know if he's okay. I think they pulled the plug on him way too short. He's still part of the House of Torture group in New Japan, but he hasn't been there. So I don't know what's going on with that. I think it was really promising for him. It really was. They pulled the plug on it way too quick. I didn't like that. Anna Jay let the man return, sis. Well, I don't blame you. Osprey got to win the title, triple threat, Hangman versus Hangman and Swerve. I need that. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. It could get to that point. It could get to that point. I would not be surprised. I do feel like, right now Swerve is chilling. I don't know how long not Moxley, Hangman will have this, but I feel like they can always get back to Swerve and Hangman feuding again with no problem. They can definitely do that. And Osprey has been kind of in the middle anyway between them, so they can revisit that at some point, and it could lead to a triple threat with these three guys. I would like that. When MJF was on Busted Open, one of the actors, a dude that made Shameless, said he had recently recorded a short movie with Hook. Oh, okay, Hook was in a movie with him. Okay, that's probably well, I don't know. Am I gonna go see it? Probably not. I thought Scapegoat was coming back in Chicago. Well, we still be in Chicago until next Thursday, so he can still probably make it. Where's Jack Perry from? I don't know. That probably could still work out. Um, I remember when he had a match in Chicago, the Windy City Riot. I think it was last year, 2024, and this was obvious. Was it last year, 2024? Whatever situation was, he was in Chicago, and at first people was booing him because obviously Chicago. This was after the whole CM Punk situation, blah blah blah. And then by the middle of that match, people were cheering for him. They completely forgot about it, and I think he proved himself to not only be a great heel but a great wrestler. And I think people forget that, especially when somebody's a heel, that they're a great wrestler. They literally dropped the ball on this whole thing with Jack Perry. I think he should have had the title a hell of a lot longer, and I don't think that he literally did anything when he was in the elite. Nothing really worth it for him in long term speaking. Last time we saw Jack Perry was with Darby Feud. Maybe he's returning to screw him when he faces Monks. I remember Monks praising Jack Perry on Dynamite TV when EVPs were shredding papers. That would actually be interesting. That would be interesting. I don't know if they will do that. Like I said, I don't know if he's injured or anything. It just seems like a lot of people are injured right now or just not on the show. And like I said, if we're done with at least Moxley for now, other people can start, creeping in. Jack Perry worked the Windy City Riot crowd so damn. Yeah, that was a really great match. That was his match against Shota Umino too. So that was pretty good. Shota, he's good, but I mean the whole Death Rider thing kind of didn't really work out for him. That he's I think he's a great wrestler. He's one of those people. I don't know if y'all know, but he's the son of Red Shoes, the referee with the red shoes in New Japan. And what's so interesting about it is that he doesn't have that nepo baby treatment. Like they don't care if your daddy's the most popular referee in New Japan, they're gonna boo your ass anyway. So it was interesting when he had his match with Zach last night. Red Shoes, who is a referee who's supposed to literally be neutral, when he what did he do? He did like a swinging neck breaker onto Zach, and Red Shoes literally was like celebrating in the ring in the middle of the match, and then he stopped and composed himself and went back to refereeing because he's so happy that his son is getting opportunity. Little thing like that actually should not happen, but it was kind of cute to see. It was kind of cute. Ron said, "I mean Osprey Death winning the main strap. Question: just in when and against who? Oh yeah, definitely. Maybe MJF. Oh, you know what? And for me personally, I would love to see MJF take the title off of Hangman, and then they can definitely have the feud because obviously they feuded already, Osprey and MJF. And I wouldn't be mad to see Osprey take the title off of MJF. I would be cool with that. Oh, you said Swerve beat MJF and then Osprey dethroned Swerve. That's actually interesting. Um, I mm, that could work out too. I think either way that would definitely work out. We know, uh, Osprey definitely gonna be holding that title. I don't know about this year to be honest with you. This year is moving by so quickly. But I'm thinking we might close the year with MJF as champion for sure. I really feel like that is gonna happen. In UK, MJF versus Osprey next year would be cool since they face each other. They are oh yeah, that would be cool too. Oh, what if Osprey had won the title from fucking Hangman and then MJF cashed on him like the same night? I know that people will be so mad. Personally, I wouldn't be bothered. Like I'm cool with it. I know people will be really upset about that, but I know that MJF is really gonna whatever he does when he cashes in. is going to be probably one of the biggest heel moves in AEW history for sure. He's not just going to waste it on a little moment. He's going to use it at a really big moment that's going to give him major heat. And if it were to happen that Osprey would have won somehow, some way, and he cashed on him that same moment, everybody except for me would hate him, and I think that would be fucking lovely. I don't know if they'll do that though. I don't know. I don't know. All right, you guys, I've hit the 3 hour mark. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. There's one thing in this world I talk too much about, which is wrestling. And I'm appreciative that y'all are actually listening. So thank you. I appreciate that. Tomorrow, King Leah will be live with SmackDown. And then on Thursday, we hold on, what's going on this week again? Okay, Thursday, yes, is Collision. I think is live, not 100% sure. For Collision, I will do a review on night 5 of the G1 tomorrow. What else is happening? And then night 6, I think Saturday as well. Then so on and so forth. Whatever. There's a whole month of that whole shit. So there's a lot to keep up with. If anybody is not watching, I don't know if they have at least highlights on YouTube. I did see like highlights, I think of like night 1 or something, but it's actually a really great tournament. To get the app, if y'all probably thinking about it, it is $9.99. And even if you were to purchase it just for a month, you'll actually be able to watch the entire tournament because it's only for like 3 weeks or something like that. And it's been really, really great. If you love pro wrestling, you at least if you don't even have to get into New Japan. If you just want to see great wrestling, you're going to enjoy these matches for sure. Everybody's been killing it. So I do appreciate y'all rocking with me. Yes, Fletcher, baby. Thank you. I do appreciate you on the chat. So tomorrow, King Leah over on No Dirt Sheets with WWE SmackDown. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Bye.